Hello. So sorry about that crash. As Don't Drink Bat Milk has said, there is a setting that is not optimized and has been bleeding memory and GPU. I'm gonna make sure that's off. I could have sworn I turned it off before, but it's possible that some update or another turned it back on. We'll see very shortly. Yeah, that being back on would explain things. Um, and it's a beta, so it's not that surprising that we're having some of these crashes. So I'm not like upset. It's just like, well, yeah, no, that's a setting that's not optimized. Very unfortunate, really, but it is what it is. All right, but hey, we didn't lose much progress. All we really lost is the conversation with the storyteller, which I won't go into full narration again. But I should have checked the graphic settings before going in. Hold on. That's the first thing I'm going to do is just go into options the minute I log in. Alright, let's make sure that that's what's going on. SSR is off? That's strange. Well, let's, in general, turn things to medium. Strange. God, it's still just eating my GPU. Even with SSR off and me turning everything lower. Yeah, I've pulled up the things and I'll go ahead and show briefly. At the very top, you can just see it's just chonking that GPU, which is very surprising. I don't have a bad computer either. That's the thing. And this is definitely not this is not a more advanced game graphically than Kingmaker, not significantly. So it's like, damn. And well, it looks manageable for right now. We'll keep an eye on it. Anyways, we're not going to fully read this again because unfortunately before the crash we did already read that. But basically, it's still really good because it's the story of Earthfall. People watching this later on YouTube who have not been sitting here for the stream can, of course, pause this to read, and I would really encourage you. It's really good. But, effectively, for those caring a little bit less about it, the storyteller was once an archmage at time of Earthfall, which was an event in which a planetoid collided with Golarion and ended civilization as people knew it at the time. It destroyed the entire continent of Aslant, and many other things. The elves at the time decided to withdraw to a different world rather than stay. The storyteller was once an archmage, and he decided to stay because he loved Golarion so much. Try to turn off HBAO2 maybe? That's a good idea. But the elves fled because they didn't want to lose what they had, and they cared too much about themselves and with their own cities rather than Golarion as a whole. Kionin. Earthfall happened, and of course it took away the sun. Or rather, which is say, the clouds of ash blocked out the sun. But these are the storyteller's memories of a time before, and he doesn't remember them. I've decided to join the Crusade. I've decided not to, I'm afraid. My path and the path of Crusade lead in the same direction, but alas, they're not yet one and the same. After the demons were driven away from Canabras, the path into the world woman became open, if only temporarily. I'm planning on using this opportunity to visit. It doesn't matter now. I hate to bore you with details of my adventure, which may prove useless even for myself. However, I'll try to return to the Crusaders and aid them in their confrontation with demons after I'm done. I hope to meet you again in this world rather than the next. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn off HBAO entirely. And it's having no visible effect. Well, it's like I said, it still looks stable right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll go through and we'll see how this goes. And Enduring Blade to enchant our weapons and then have that a bit more. Stone Call and I think Invisibility, yeah. Nenio gets more use of Magic Device and other things. Which gains 2 new spells. Fireball! Sorry, I just realized Fireball. I'm like, oh yes, please, I would like Fireball. And Haste. Really, yeah, like, I wish there was more I could do. But, like, yeah. Weirdly enough, on the level up screen, it's eating up more of my GPU, and that's fucking weird. I'm really curious. Like, it could be, and I was worried about this before. But it could simply be that there's something in our file that's bugged due to other reasons. I really hope that's not true, because I'd have to make up all the fucking progress again. But it could be because I've been playing this since the first day that it's just kind of borked. Heroism. That problems that are now patched are still present. It's the risk of playing a beta, especially as early as we've been playing the beta, but, you know. Dispel Magic. Actually. Wendwag, you're actually gonna get another level of Fighter, because we want to optimize that use of Boon Companion. And, extra feet. And with that, we're going to do Weapon Specialization Longbow. Nice little extra +2 to all her damage. Woljif. mobility, trickery, and perception. Oh, and like stealth. We're gonna start using his stealth soon, and like have him start scouting ahead at this rate. You get 2 spells. Burning Arc's good. We use that actually a decent amount. Create Pit. That sounds good. And finally, Sela. Or religion. Mobility. And Knowledge World. You gain a new mercy. Fatigued. Okay. Alright. Well, it's still stable right now. Enio. Hope we meet Discari and Baphomet soon. I have numerous questions for them. Person shows everyone that's standing here, and I'm ready to out for each of them. These are the fighters of the Eagle Watch. Okay. So many of our own have perished, and for what? For us to keep fighting, for a day to come when no one else will have to die. Yes, you're right. Thank you, little girl. Commander? Cold Iron Masterwork Great Axe. Hi, recruit. It's high time we destroyed all the demonic abominations. Ha 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 ha. Kid. 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 Don't kid yourself. Also, because we have a scroll of glitter dust now, copy to spellbook. These are Knights of Canabras. All had suffered the orders that were billeted in the city. Bunch of longswords, dwarven war axe. For Sirbeth, now another Earthstar commander. Our queen sure does like them wet behind the ears. What did you say, sir? Nothing, Commander Terabyte. Happy to serve. Just like, he has a point in that even like, Arwen, so I'm be marching with all this riffraff and through the mocked wasteland. I'll be lounging on featherbed in wonderful company. Propose a toast to a fate well deserved. Count is so gallant, so handsome, and most importantly, ever so rich. It's hard to imagine a man more agreeable, gentlemen. To a fate well deserved. Too tired to stand. When will we be able to lie down? This is Nura Dendawar's tent. Seems she brought a lot of unnecessary items along with her. A bunch of scrolls. See, you, Arabat, see unnecessary items. Rin's like, fuck yeah, give me those. Well, shit. I see now why they all ran to Lambkin. Well. A well-dressed old dwarf is lecturing a motley company, shaking their ladle at them belligerently. Noticing you, she flings up her hands. Good afternoon, your commanderness. Do you remember us? We're the crew from the next door theater company, the one you saved in Kennebrus. Back when you weren't your commanderness yet. As you see, we've come on the campaign with you. We signed up to clean pots and mend the soldiers' clothes. Keeping up a theater is expensive, so we all have to take side jobs. We won't stop what we're doing. We're going to put on a play about your legendary feats. Of course, the crowd scenes are difficult. We can't find people to play the hordes of demons. We decided against using a ritual to summon real demons. Luckily, we have Master Kim. He's invented a way to solve this problem using sound. Got a pig and some piglets who ran away from a burned-out village. Glum husky half-elf mumbles softly. We put the piglets in Bosca, and Seren Lil and sound they make us just like an approaching demon horde. But the most important question is, of course, choosing the lead actor who will play the Great Knight Commander. We had a bright Barney over it, breaking a number of lances as well as a shovel, a rolling pin, and a set of back scratchers. We just couldn't decide no matter what. Maybe you can help us. We have two candidates that are most suited to the role. One will have the honor of conveying your heroism upon the stage, Commander. I'm gonna be played by a gnome? Not a gnome, two gnomes! Rubbledum and Hierophant are twins. One of them sits on the other's shoulders and puts on a long coat so they can play tall characters. They switch places every so often, so each gets their moment of fame. And that way they each only have to learn half the script. A Cyclops actor? He's completely tame, believe me. Has a few issues with articulation, but what a powerful physique. Make him a nice costume, wash him up, brush his hair. Truth be told, in our show, you mainly just make short, heroic exclamations at the fateful moment, like, onward, or we'll never give up, or my heart burns with courage. Lambkin can definitely handle the script. Don't you have any, other actors who even vaguely resemble me? We're a small and poorly funded theater, and we only have a few actors. But they're also talented, one of a kind. I've chosen the ones that are the best fit for your role. Trust my vision. I have more than a few successful plays under my belt. Alright, made my decision. I'll be played by the Gnome Twins. Wonderful! Sorry we took you away from all the important things heroes and commanders do. We're off to rehearsal. I mean, first we'll wash some pots, then we're off to rehearsal. Let's go, you lazy lumps. Don't embarrass old grandma now. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. What are you looking up at the sky for? You think winged demons are about to fall on us? Yes, useless uplanders. Most dangerous enemy is the one that attacks from above. This is why camps are set up in small caves. And here all of us are in full view. Mistress, these soldiers lack discipline and concentration. I won't entrust them with our lives, so I'll keep guard myself. I mean, fair. Cold iron masterwork long spear. It's an honor. Cold iron masterwork light mace. Commander. Excuse me, just looting your tents. Just looting my own fucking camp.
Follow my lead.
I mean, if they're going to charge me for goods, which they're absolutely going to charge me for goods, then you. Commander. I knew it was Sela. There are fighters here that Her Highness brought from the capital. Too bad they're only recruits. That's alright, we'll bring them up to speed.
I know the way.
Group of soldiers talking loudly, laughing joyfully, and passing around a flask. So picture this. My sword is by the fire. There's 2 goblins about to snatch it, and 3 more are digging through my tent. And I'm sat in the bushes wearing just my mail shirt, wondering what the blast to do. An old mercenary taught me about the mail shirt. You can't sleep in armor, but it's not so bad a mail once you get used to it. Too bad no one told me not to go into the bushes without my sword. So what'd you do? What did I do? I barked like crazy. Goblins are afraid of dogs, you know. So they all went wild and started running around. I spot my sword, and they spot me. So I jump over the fire, wearing nothing but my mail shirt, and grab my sword and I yell in my big, tough voice, "O Inheritor, grant me the power to crush these filthy creatures." My sword shining, the goblins are screaming. I jump to attack them, and they fight back, but I fought them off somehow. Ever since then, I never take a step without my weapon. Sela takes a sip from her flask. That's some story. Hey, stop. Stop gulping. Leave some for us. Only just off and you're already drinking? With the queen in the camp? Stop this at once. The knights quickly snap to attention. Seal raises fast and says loudly, "Right you are, Commander Terabade. We are but drinking to the queen's health." Rin... No, Rin's with Irabeth right here, where it's like, look, Sela, it's one thing to have a celebration when we're under, like, certain death and all that other stuff for morale. We're not under certain death right now, but we do need you alert. Like, we're in danger, but we're not like, well, fuck it, we could die tomorrow. So therefore, show some discipline. My apologies, Commander. As better. You're a paladin and army, not a mercenary or raiding party. Make sure you act like it. Yeah, Rin's thing there is less even about the telling stories and enjoying a good laugh. It's the alcohol that she's like, don't get fucking sloshed while we're, marching into an extremely hostile territory. Although in some ways she gets it. It's definitely one of those things where it's like she's not mad. Really, it's just like that would have been a very gentle chastisement. With the knowledge of, look, I get it, but you need to be better. It's Field Hospital. Last, the clerics of Canabra suffered especially heavy losses, so we're in desperate need of healers. We are few, but the gods are with us. Prayers of good people around the world are with us. Beautiful day, isn't it? Been staying here for a long time. Would you like to help? Who, me? No, I definitely would not. Why is Camellia here? Just act like I'm not here. I'd just like to watch people work. What the fuck? Why is she in the medical tent? Should I hold my hands when I pray? Like this or like this instead? You're focusing on the wrong things. Hold your hands however you like. The important thing is fill your mind with peace and piety. A stout old man with a fuzzy beard greets you with a deep bow. Well met, Commander. It caused quite the stir. Everyone thought Canabras was done for, but the gods had other plans. It was quite a blaze over the Grey Garrison. All the vermin running out with their tails between their legs. Who are you? former rector of the Canopus Temple of Abadar, and now your humble servant. Times like these, one cannot serve the god of seas without sitting comfortably behind a city wall. One cannot serve the god of seas while sitting comfortably behind a city wall. Pursue a sacred cause, and they will help you in any way I can. Wait your orders, Commander. Lead us onward to Dresden. How'd you end up on the battlefield? Everyone here has a story like that, but mine is a rather boring one. Believe it or not, it was a bureaucracy. When the old rector of the Canopus Temple died, may Abadar rest his soul, the church required a replacement. I volunteered and served for 30 years without incident. I prayed, organized festivals and funerals, bought candles, sanctified water, boring mundane things that make up the daily routine of civilized society. Then civilized society failed, and it was time for me to go to war. Praise Abadar who led me through the ruins to the defender's heart. Who's that boy with you? This one? Kyato the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy and his faith is strong. He serves Aristil though. There's still something you can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? Alright. Need a scroll with divine spell? I have a lot of them. Something for every emergency. While you're at the camp, I can read any scroll for you, guaranteed no surprises. Alright. Well, we're going to sell some of our stuff to him. Because we can finally offload some of the stuff we've been getting. +1 cold iron short sword lands on an enemy that target must pass a fortitude saving throw or become sickened for 1 round. We're going to keep that. It's a shame we already spec'd into rapiers, because I'd be like, oh, well, sure, I'll hold that for a bit. But we already spec'd into rapiers. Let's just, you know, get a lot of money. Flail of Light Burst. Whenever this +1 flail confirms a critical hit, it deals additional 1d6 positive energy damage. I have to check to see if Sela's already got weapon focus. Cold Iron Falchion +1. One of my favorite builds actually uses falchions. Correction, one of my favorite 3.5 D&D builds use a falchion. I don't know how effective it is in Pathfinder, because I've never attempted to make it in Pathfinder. Oh. The Collapse. Whenever this +1 Cold Iron Warhammer confirms a critical hit, all enemies in 15 feet area must pass a fortitude saving throw or become prone. Well, that's a good weapon. We're going to save that and see if anyone can use it. As you know, we sell various things that we picked up. Scythe +2. I don't think anyone's going to be using scythes, but we'll hold on to it for right now because it's a +2 weapon. I want to just double check. Bulky Pick. Whenever this +1 heavy pick confirms a critical hit on an enemy, the enemy becomes fatigued for 1d3 rounds. I don't usually fuck around with picks, so However, this +1 Cold Iron Great Axe lands a hit on the enemy must pass a fortitude saving throw or become prone for 1 round. God damn, if only we had somebody who used Great Axes. Like, my Just for Fun character, which is a Blood Ranger, absolutely uses Great Axes, so this will be good for him, but yeah. There we go. Well, alright. That is a good amount of goods in general. Price in descending order. Red Salamander. If the wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, grants them the ability to cast the following spells: Fireball, Controlled Fireball, Fire Snake, Hellfire Ray, Firestorm, and Fiery Body. Oh, yes. That's pretty good. That's really good. 35k though. Whenever the wearer of this belt uses a scroll or potion, it gives +1 to its caster level. That's cool. This coin grants its wearer the ability to grant any allied DR5 untyped for 1 minute once per day. What? That's super good. Okay, so let me explain here. Specifically why that's good. So, DR5 untyped means we reduce all incoming damage by 5, and there's nothing that can penetrate it. It means flat out for a minute, once per day, one person is taking 5 less damage per hit. That'd probably be Rin, but that's really good, and I kind of want to save up for that. That's really fucking good. Bookworm's Headband. The headband grants one where a +2 in intelligence enhancement bonus to intelligence scores and immunity to all compulsion effects. However, it inflicts a -2 penalty to charisma score and -3 penalty in all charisma checks. I want to give that to Rin because she'd be like, okay, sure, that sounds fine. I don't have any problem with this. It's dumb, but yeah. Common ring. +5 to all perception and trickery skilled check. Oh, that's so good! Hand that to Woljiv and just let him, pick every fucking lock. Disinsector's Cape. This Cloak of Resistance +2 grants the wearer DR5 untyped against all swarms attacks. That's also good. First of all, it's a Cloak of Resistance +2. So already, even when you're not against swarms, it's a Cloak of Resistance +2. The extra, and you take 5 less damage from swarms, is good because, okay, we don't encounter a lot of swarms, but when we do, they're really nasty. So I'm interested in that. Scroll of Resurrection. Yep. Nope. Yep. What? Hold on. This scroll functions like Raise Dead, except you are able to restore life and complete strength to any deceased creature, even the ones killed by death effect or disintegration. Upon completion of the spell, the creature is immediately restored to full hit points, vigor, and health with no loss of prepared spells. 12,000 gold. So now we know the cost of anyone actually dying. Cloak of Resistance +3. Not bad. Lesser Empower Metamagic Rod. This rod grants its ability, the wielder the ability to make up to 3 spells they cast per day empowered as though using the Empower spell feat. I mean, sure. It's not bad. Scroll of Raise Dead. 2 permanent negative levels when it's raised, as if it had been hit by an energy draining creature, though it cannot gain a number of negative levels equal or greater to its still hit dice this way. That would be the option if we had access to greater restoration. So basically, if we want to be stingy, we can buy that and then just cast greater restoration. Headband of Vast Intelligence +2. Oh, suddenly the fucking Bookworm's Headband is less enticing. A -2 charisma for a +2. You're paying -2 charisma and -3 to persuasion So really -4 to persuasion for immunity to compulsion, which is still good, don't get me wrong. There's still something to be said there, but yeah, it's not as fucking ideal. Have benevolent charisma, that's always good. Scroll of Atonement. And we're back into the realm of mundane. Glowing croissant! Sure. Let's take a glowing croissant and potions and stuff like that. Okay. Mutated fish. We're not gonna buy stuff yet. We still need to look at some stuff. But as an example, we would absolutely get the +2 intelligence circlet for Rin, and we probably will. Because that means more spells per day. Or at least, yeah, that's a bunch of good stuff for her by having more intelligence. We outfitted this tent to be used as our chapel. Even the less pious crusaders will come here to say their prayers when the final battle is upon us. I've seen it happen in my previous campaigns. This has been sanctified. It can protect the area around it from the corruption of the abyss. Commander?
Interesting.
What? Woljif's perception check succeeded. I spit on the streets of Canabras. I spit on its granite walls and its stained glass windows. If tomorrow the ground trembles, splits apart, and devours this cursed city, I will not shed one tear. No one here, not a single soul, deserves any compassion. Everyone who lives in the city is a criminal. If there were any justice in this world, every one of them would be hanging from the gallows, Prelate Tolerant and Queen Galfrey chief among them. Skim on the streets what they know of mongrels. Answer will be dumb silence through the lowered eyes of a scoundrel who knows their crimes but doesn't want to think about it. Mongrels, a disgusting nickname which residents of the city have given to the brave Crusader heroes who defeated the forces of hell but paid for it with their health. Covered with scabs and tumors, bloated and gnarled, they were no longer beautiful enough to be tolerated by the very people they'd saved. As a reward for their heroism, the city dwellers exiled them to the sewers and damp caves beneath the city. The author of these words went down there and spoke with them. I'll have you know that the ugliest of them is more noble than all the paladins of Mendev, not to mention that head-chopping prelate and that his murderous queen. And if any pretend that today's city dwellers aren't responsible for the crime of their grandfathers, then will spit in their face, for the grandchildren of the exiled are still down there, crawling in the mud and eating garbage. And everyone who knows about this sin does nothing, and everyone who should know but prefers blissful ignorance, say they're all guilty and they repeat the same crime every day. As long as this doesn't change, any citizen who desires to fight a demon should take a knife and stab themselves in the stomach, for your city is already a hell, and you are no better than the demons. If anyone would repent and right this terrible wrong, they should turn their weapons on the prudish paladins who preach good but defend an order that flies in the face of justice. Down with the paladins, down with Prelate Halloran, down with Queen Galfrey. I'm Jernot. We've spoken to Defender's Heart. You're the commander of the Crusade now. Ursula knows it's hard to imagine someone worthier of taking the post than the savior of Canabras. May the good gods help you prevail. Have you joined the Crusade? Don't take it amiss, but no, I haven't. I have my own task. I'm needed in Chili Creek, a tiny hamlet which, due to some oversight, has been left without a priest for these many years. Let's set sail for there. I'm making my journey around Old Man Selwyn. Now answer my questions. Where are the mail shirts? According to the paperwork, we're supposed to have 50. I personally deposited the money for them in the armor's treasury. Oh, corn meat. Oh yeah. It's just like it says it is. Man's face looks like it's been forged from copper. His deep wrinkles starting with the soot of hundreds of battles and thousands of campfires. His bald head is covered with a dozen scars, and the gray, bristly beard on his chin is the color of ash. Sides you up lazily and creaks a dry, rusted hinge. Will Sir Garms, at your service. What do you want? Me? Well, my father was a carpenter, you know. Alright when he was sober, but not when he was in his cups. Hit me with anything he'd lay a hand on. A board, a log, even a hammer. So I ran away before he killed me. Joined up with the army. At least there was free food. For the Crusades, you know. I was 2 wars back during the third one. We're always at war, though, Crusader no. I was a little snot back then, but I got by well enough. They didn't trust me with sword, until the rats poured out of the abyss and 2 of every 3 got cut down and the blood of meat slicked the ground. Every fire counted then. We fought them off somehow and got the breakaway. Then we fought them in Sarkorian Steppe and Stonewells and Frostmire. I'd been over half the wound on foot. After I got older, found me this job. Want to put me out to pasture, but what could I do with myself? Share the bench with the village clowns? I'd just drink myself to death if I was made a civilian again. This place keeps me busy. Spotting fires is a full-time job. If you need, say, I might have it. Not very polite. Sorry, your commandership. The old man shrugs lazily. He doesn't even allow himself to show open impudence, but you don't sense much respect in his voice either. We're simple folk here, never been to any academies, never learned my manners. Tell it like it is, report in due form, so to speak. How dare you address your superior like that? Up, stand at attention and answer properly. With the words, the old soldier is instantly transformed. It's as though a different man stands before you, eager to please, fit, a full 5 inches taller than before. Aye, Commander. Whatever you want, we will obey. Say the word and we're at it. Coughing nervously, he reaches into his pocket. If any lied thieving going on, don't you believe them demons. Everything's right here, all accounted for. I just hid it from those lousy thieves to be sure it'd come to you. Wear it well. He hands you a shiny object wrapped in a dirty rag. Rin instantly doesn't like this guy, and she's going to be kind of a hard ass to him. Show me what you have. It's one of those things where she's like, wait. You just happened to have that. Whenever this +3 corrosive longsword, it's already corrosive, lands a hit on an enemy, it deals an additional 2d6 corrosive damage to all enemies in a 30-foot area. What? After this ability has been activated, it can't be activated again for 1d4 rounds. Hold the phone. It's a +3 corrosive longsword. So already, +3 to hit, +3 to damage, +1d6 acid damage on hit. Already it's a damn good weapon. But a 30-foot spray of 2d6 acid damage? Specifically just to enemies? And activates at least once every 4 rounds? Holy fucking shit! This would be a god tier weapon if demons weren't resistant to acid. That said, resistance isn't immunity, so that's still really good. Holy shit. And it's a longsword, which like Seela can use. Ah damn. Sorry, I'm in fucking awe. That is really fucking good. Like, if you had something like this in, say, the Kingmaker Adventure Path, you would be a fucking god. Oh. S-Stock. Remember this +1 speed S-Stock? Okay, that's neat. Lands a critical hit on an enemy, the wielder gets a +2 morale bonus to dexterity, and each attack they make deals additional 1d4 piercing damage for 2d3 rounds. That's not bad. Wielder of Speed S weapon may make one extra attack with it. Full base attack bonus plus any modifiers. Oh god, yeah, no, like 57k? Oh, that's a bit too rich for my blood, but when we can afford it, I'm putting that on someone. Fuck off. Let's see here. When the wielder of this +3 Dwarven War Axe is wielding this, wielding a secondary weapon in another hand, whenever they land a critical hit with it, they also make an additional attack with the second weapon. That is a very niche build. Going dual wielding while having a Dwarven War Axe in one hand? I can see a build for it. If you were a dwarf who had a spiked shield, and if spiked shields worked as they should, which is, say, also functioning as shields, that's where I'd be like, yeah, sure, yeah, that's fine. But as it is right now, I wouldn't get this, and it's definitely not worth 45k. I mean, it's almost worth 45k because it's a +3 weapon, but like its secondary effect, like I would have to see how they price +3 weapons otherwise, but it's like its secondary effect isn't that good. Wide Sweep Scythe. Whenever this +2 Scythe lands a hit, it deals its weapon damage to all adjacent enemies. That's a good Scythe. That's a damn good Scythe. Just anytime you land a hit, congratulations, you just plain deal damage. Deal your normal fucking weapon damage to everything around. That's really good. Honorable Judgment. If the wielder of this +2 Holy Gnome Hooked Hammer has any lawful alignment, the first hit during a round they land on a creature with any chaotic alignment deals additional 1d6 holy damage. The problem is it's a gnome hammer. Double Jeopardy. Great Club. Whenever the wielder of this +2 Great Club lands a hit against a new target with it for the first time, the next successful attack against the same target deals additional 2d6 damage. It's okay. I don't know whether that's worth that. Oh. Oh. I was like, what does Disruption do again? It just kills undead. Anti-undead nunchucks, yes. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, so it's a +1 nunchuck that just, when it smacks undead, they just go, poof. That's fucking great. I want to see a fucking monk with this. That's actually kind of cool. Whenever the wielder of this +2 dart confirms a critical hit with it, the enemy becomes flat-footed for 1 round. Not worth 27k. Blade of Order, Scimitar. Whenever the wielder of this +2 Scimitar lands hit on a chaotic evil creature, it applies -1 penalty to that creature's damage rolls until the end of combat. This penalty sticks up to -5. That's not bad. You have to make the Bruce Lee noises, though. I would. +2 Radiant Long Spear. Lands a critical hit, pierces the enemy. For 1d4 rounds, all subsequent hits against that target deal 1d3 positive RNG damage. Okay. Okay. Whenever this +1 Bardiche lands a hit on a medium or smaller creature, so most creatures, the target must pass a Fortitude saving throw or suffer additional weapon damage. That's not worth 22k, but that's an amusing effect. Flaming Two-Bladed Sword. +2. 22k. +2 cold iron and falchion lands a hit on a creature that is under any hex effect. It deals additional weapon damage. That's good for like certain. That's good if you're taking Ember along at all. Dawn Alive Tower Shield. This +3 Tower Shield, I already like it. Weighs twice as much as the usual Tower Shield. I dislike it. Limits its wielder's speed to 20 feet. Whenever the wielder receives a critical hit, they are healed for the amount of HP equal to the number of their hit dice. It's neat. That's a kind of neat Tower Shield. But like it's an even shittier Tower Shield. Corrosive Light Hammer +2. If you like light hammers, if you want a nice finesse blunt weapon, this would be it. It's a +2 hammer with acid damage. That's good. Ceremonial Falchata. His +2 Falchata grants his wearer a +5 morale bonus on all persuasion checks. Whenever the wielder uses Dazzling Display, all affected enemies suffer 1d8 sonic damage. I guess if you're going a certain build with it, there's a couple builds that would let you get the exotic proficiency needed for this that would allow you to get a Falchata. And then you could get Dazzling Display. Like, that's not terrible. It's not good for us, but it's not terrible. Adamantine Full Plate +1. Well, I know something I'm saving up for Seela. Adamantine Banded Mail +1. Here's the thing. At that point, I would just save up the extra 3k to get the Adamantine Full Plate because it's just not good. Medium Armor Breastplate. This +2 breastplate grants wearer a +2 insight bonus on against attacks made with natural weapons. Kind of niche, but okay. Painful Remorse. Whenever the wielder this +2 spiked heavy shield uses it for a shield bash. See, this fucking spiked shield shows that it is also a fucking shield. It behaves like a vicious weapon, dealing an additional 2d6 points of damage to the opponent and 1d6 points of damage to the wield. I liked it up until the 1d6 to the wielder. So yeah, here's the thing. Normal +2 weapons are 8,300 gold. So most of the stuff that's like up here, like I'm not arguing that the corrosive is worth it because you know the corrosive is 10k. It's like yeah, but it's like a lot of the other ones where it's like oh this is a +2 whatever or +1. Yeah, now we know the starting price is 8,300. Yeah, no, like that thing is like I was on board until it's like and then it deals a 1d6 to you. It's like no, I would never do that. Mithril Chain Shirt, that's always neat. That would be really good for like Windwog or someone. Can we like hold on. Windwog, what are you wearing right now? You definitely get more out of it. Definitely get a lot more out of it. Because of that extra dexterity bonus. We'll consider it. Ring of Protection +2, that's always nice. Mithril Chainmail, Mithril Breastplate. Lesser Gloves of Dueling. These gloves grant the wearer +1 bonus to CMD against disarm attempts. Full plate +1. I can... Hold on. Sela, what are you wearing? You are just wearing full plate. I can probably buy you some fucking full plate +1 sometime. We're not going to immediately make that decision because we still gotta see what else he has. But, like, I foresee us getting that. We'll put it in here. Just to remember. What's your weapon? It is the +2 composite longbow. Yeah, we don't need anything for you. Weapon-wise. Just a bunch of +1 weapons. Which, like, I might buy for some people. Like, hey, look. Oh, wait, you already have a good one. I might... Oh, you already have the longbow. Shit. You already have the short bow. Okay. No, I was gonna be like, somebody's secondary weapon can be nice, and I'm like, oh, now you need it. Okay. I mean, I guess I'd give him a fucking, like, heavy crossbow, I guess. Yeah, anyways. And then a bunch of cold iron weapons, and then that's it. Well, let's take another quick look at these. At the biggest stuff. Anything we can get right now. Honestly, I think if I'm already like, oh, I'll just buy you the full plate, I'm gonna wait and just get you the adamantine, maybe. Although that's spending an additional 6,000. Sorry, 16,000 for DR3. Untyped DR3, to be fair. I'm not against it. Also, I'm going to sell the adamantine chainmail. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. Sela doesn't get hit a lot. Or rather, what I mean by I don't think it's worth it, I think we're fine getting her the full plate +1 right now. And be okay with that. I will get this Mithril chain shirt +2 as it'll be a big upgrade for Wendwog. Who doesn't admittedly have a lot of problems with armor, but yeah. Actually, what is our armor? Our armor currently is +1 studded leather. Hold on. Two more armor. I could pick up 2. I could just pick up 2. Oh, no, I can't because that's the only one. I could be selfish and be like, nah, that's mine. Wendwog, like, hold on. I could just get you that. You'd still get a significant increase. Yeah, I'll get you that. There you go. Bit too costly. Hold on. Let's see. Can we, like... Alright, I'm okay with that. Let's sell off a couple of our scrolls and stuff. Especially scrolls we're not likely to use. Like, inflict like wounds, we're not likely to use that. We're also unlikely to cast Doom via scroll. Definitely not Ear Piercing Stream. Divine Favor? Yes. Cure Light Wounds? Absolutely. Corrosive Touch? No, we are not reading a scroll in melee. Cause Fear? We'll keep that. Burning Hands? We'll keep that. Bless? We'll keep that. Bane? We'll keep that. Large Person? We'll keep that. Expeditious Retreat? I don't really like the spell. Fairy Fire? Fuck yes, we'll keep that. Fire Belly? Maybe? Haze of Dreams? Nah, I'm good without it. Mage Armor? We'll keep it. Scroll of Magic Fang. Hand that to fucking, No, just, yeah, occasionally cast on something. Magic Missile? No, because it's very basic level 1. It's not really worth spending a full action on a scroll of it. We're not going to be using scrolls of protection from good. Law, maybe. Ray of Sickening, we'll keep that. Reduce Person, that's fine. Scroll of Remove Fear. We'll keep that, tentatively. Scroll of Remove Sickness. No, because it doesn't remove disease. Shield of Faith, yes. Stunning Barrier, sure. Summon Monster, yes. Targeted Bomb and Mixture, no, because none of us are alchemists. Unbreakable Heart, and Scroll of Vanish. Nope. Okay. Manage to lower the cost of things a little bit. Arrow of Law, yes. Scroll of Blindness, yes. Scroll of Summon Small Elemental, yes. Scroll of Aid, yes. Scroll of Blessed Weapon, yes. Scroll of Remove Disease, absolutely. Scroll of Prayer, sure. Dispel Magic Point, yes. Holy Sword, sure. Okay.
I'll go ahead.
Where in the world is one blacksmith? I will take those.
All according to plan.
Where is Staunton Vane's brother? That's the question. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find out soon. Well, let's progress the story. Oh, that's right. He's not here. That's very true. He's definitely not here. Here you go. Have a mithril breastplate +1. Your AC is gonna shoot up. Well, not shoot, but when I... That's good. That's still respectable. +1 AC is +1 AC. Hello! Would you like your +1 full plate? Yes, I know you would. God, yeah. I'm really wondering where he was. He was gonna make me a sheath. Hey, thank you for the follow, Walker Bow. He was gonna make me a nice little sheath for a Radiance. Yeah, well. C'est la vie.
Follow my lead.
Well, before I talk to the queen, let's loot her tent. It's possible this is my tent, to be fair. Half plate, yes, because I can sell that. I love the idea of the queen just like sitting there watching this and going, what the fuck is they, what are they doing? They appear to be looting your tent, your highness. Why the fuck are they looting my tent? Times are hard on the road. To be fair, I should be just collecting everything and just selling it off. What am I doing? Oh, that's my chest. See, it is my tent. This is my stuff. Totally. I'm gonna go
In due time.
and do another round of looting. Because I just realized we're literally next to two merchants. I know, I kind of wish there were ramifications. Because it's something that, like, Rin wouldn't actually be going around looting this. This is, as much as I'm usually trying to keep, you know, this true to the character, I also understand how games like this work. So it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not going to cripple myself by ignoring the loot. Because that would absolutely cripple us in the long run. Like, if we ignored the various things, that was like several hundred to the point of basically 1,000 gold that we found in masterwork weapons just around. That paid for one of the that basically paid for Sela's armor in many ways. Now, meanwhile, if Rin knew, okay, these are all actually belonging to the Crusade, this is a soldier's actual fucking weapon, she's not going to go grab it and then sell it. But, c'est la vie. It's just one of those things where I have to give in to the fact that this is a video game and not legitimately the tabletop. And that things are priced with this in mind. Why are these longswords? Oh my god, they're just listed as longswords, but they're cold iron. Okay, sure. See, look, another 400 gold right there. What is this? Hey, Sela, have the Righteous Crusaders ring. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't break the game. Like, it's not like, oh god, you've suddenly have more gold than we accounted for. Which is both good and bad. I respect, Commander. I hope you'll be able to spare me some time after all the formalities. Happy to help the cause, Commander. It's good to meet you, Commander. The Queen greets you with a stare. She has dropped the pompous air with which she just announced the Fifth Crusade. The face of the ruler of Mendev appears calm and thoughtful. She has made her move and now waits her opponent's reply. Commander, she gets quickly to the point. I am happy with the troop review, and I expect they will be sufficient for the task. I have chosen a target for your campaign, and that target is Dresden, our lost outpost within the Whirlwind. The Sword of Valor was stored there. His banner was once held by Iomade herself. Our greatest relic was lost in the city fell. I should make this clear from the start. The Sword of Valor is no mere symbol, but a powerful weapon against demons. The holiness of the banner weakens them and robs them of one of their most dangerous abilities, teleportation. A forced march to Dresden awaits you. The Sword of Valor is still kept somewhere within the Citadel. The demons probably think it's a hunting trophy. Discovery is just as important as retaking the city itself. The hope task is clear. I'm sending 2 specialists to help you along with soldiers, a historian, Nura Dendawar, and a cleric, Sosil Vanek. The Queen nods to the human man and the young halfling woman standing next to her. One of the famous inquisitors of the Church of Iomade also wants to talk to you, the Honorable Leota, whom everyone calls Hawkblade. I do not wish to keep you, Commander. Matter must discuss with you is extremely important, but is not directly related to Crusade. You no doubt wish to meet your new comrades and speak with your highness. Therefore, I shall leave you now by asking you to seek me out in the camp at your earliest convenience. Hi. Listen, it's amazing here. It's like I'm in a ballad. There's knights in shining armor, deadly dangers, glorious feats. We're gonna show these demons. I'm so tired of sitting in a library reading books about history. It's time I took part in it. I'm glad to help our cause, Commander. If you have some time later, I'd like to speak with you further. I've heard of Sosil. Sosil's a new companion we're gonna have. He's a paladin of Shaylin, if I am going off of his armor. That bird is Shaylin's mark, the goddess of art and beauty. You'll have plenty of time to talk. You're Knight Commander's people now, her trusted advisors and companions. Now then, will you please leave us? Irabeth, you can go too. When we met at the Defender's Heart, I never imagined you'd make me the commander of the new crusade. The Queen allows herself a smile. Some actions may be deemed bold or even extreme, and beyond those there are some you might call the Queen's last resort. I'm not a simple monarch. I am at war with the Abyss, war which has lasted over 100 years. I cannot allow myself the luxury of caution. In you I see a chance, I am willing to stake everything on it. However, you cannot blame me for putting you in charge of the crusade. I only formalized what had already happened in the hearts and minds of many. People spoke of the power that descended upon you and helped you save the Wardstones from corruption and total destruction. Word of this feat quickly spread far beyond the borders of Mendev. There was no other person who could bear fit the role of Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade. I have some questions about my mission to retake Dresden. Of course, I shall answer. How did the demons manage to conquer Dresden? That's a good question. Its walls were built by dwarf craftsmen, and the power of the Sword of Valor protected the city. Last, where raging hordes failed, a simple lying tongue was all they needed to succeed. The demoness Monago convinced a young and ambitious crusader named Staunton Vane that the banner belonged in the battlefield. Went on a daring and unapproved raid, and the banner ended up in the enemy's hands. The city fell soon after. Ever since then, for 7 decades, it served as citadel of the forces of the Abyss. 4. She has failed at 4. As Ember says, we've been lining up our soldiers in an orderly fashion and marching them against the chaotic hordes of the Abyss. Each and every time. And each and every time we've gone about it going, well, if we just had a bit more discipline, a few more soldiers. And Rin is an orderly person herself, so she understands that, but she also understands that fighting the hordes of the Abyss is as much fighting the forces of chaos itself. Therefore, neat and orderly won't always work. Unless you have absolute overwhelming might, and frankly, we don't have the forces for that. Unless... And this is a thought that's already starting to churn in Rin's mind as she realizes that she's been handed the crusade. She's already in her head, as I mentioned, she's a very logical woman. She's a very methodical and planning woman who, with her, eventual goals and such, she's very much playing the long game. And she's very much all about stopping the Abyss, because if the Abyss is not stopped, she doesn't have a world with which to quote-unquote save. But she's already sitting there going, we have this many soldiers. We are going to lose them because several of them are unseasoned recruits, and the rest are survivors of fucking Canabras, which means no, they're good, they're seasoned, they've fought demons. So you can count on those, but we're going to lose a lot of soldiers. And we're going through the most hostile of territory. We are going to lose a lot of people. We're going to need fresh recruits or a way to reuse the recruits we already have. So she's already thinking, can I start raising the dead? She's already wondering, she's sitting there going over the methods of how she could do that and wondering how efficient it might or might not be. She hasn't yet reached the 3rd tier of magic, so she can't actually conjure undead and such yet. So it's still kind of a far off goal for her, but it's one of those things where she's like, I might have to do that. Staunton Vane. I saw him at the Grey Garrison. He defected to the demon's side. Oh really? I wasn't informed of this. Galfrey frowns. After Dresden fell because of Staunton, he was nearly sentenced to death. He deserved it. Wartime men are hanged for far less. You have no idea what a terrible sight it is. Raging crowd of crusaders baying for blood. Never have my fighters looked so much like the demons we're fighting. What's her alignment? Lawful evil. Her alignment is lawful evil. Rin is an interesting character in that she, by delving into certain types of magic, was ostracized from her home and hunted down a lot. And so she fell into crowds of other people who were otherwise the fringes of society and otherwise looked down upon as well. Hell Knights are awesome. Oh, hell yeah. And in that, she met people, and she met specifically a cult espousing the ideas of undeath, and specifically in this universe, because she's originally from a different roleplay campaign. Hey, thank you for the follow, Freight Boy. Yeah, she's originally from a different role-playing campaign, but it works over very well. Not Pharasma, Urgathoa. Yeah, Cult of Urgathoa. That basically espoused the idea that the main reason for suffering in this world was the fear of death. If the entire world were undead, you wouldn't have to worry about resources. You wouldn't have to worry about loved ones being, dying, and thus that suffering. And if you didn't have to worry about resources and thus wars for resources, you would eliminate the vast majority of the reasons for war and suffering and death. So her eventual goal, and she realizes this is stupidly ambitious, but she's actually the last surviving member of that cult, that specific cult, is to eventually become a lich and wipe out all life in the world and raise it in undeath. Specifically the kind of undeath like you see with Jaethal and a few other undead, where they're still preserved. And then in that case, if she can eliminate death entirely, then obviously she will eliminate suffering in the world, right? Rin's just a little bit insane in that regard. But it's one of those things where she just, yeah. Thank you. No, Rin is one of my favorite characters, and it's why she has been my username for a very long time. I love the idea of this person who, through the idea of wanting to prevent suffering and through the idea of wanting to help people, just because she was misled and guided down the wrong path, becomes one of the biggest forces of evil possible. The only thing stopping her from being truly fucking dangerous, I mean, she is dangerous no matter what, but the only thing that stops her from being truly kill her now before she gains power is she's not very charismatic. She actually has negative charisma. She's not very good at communicating with others her ideas. She's very cold and logical. partially as a result of life, and partially just of the way she is, where she's a very logical individual. Um, and so as a result, a lot of people see the madness of idea for what it is, rather than get sweet talked by the words of trying to eliminate suffering. Like most teenagers today. I don't know that I'd say that. I don't know I'd say that thus far. Like, I mean, like, Rin is. It's definitely not necessarily with a childlike thought. She's undergone a lot of suffering herself, and she's had enough. And in her mind, if she has to take the fucking Starfall test herself and become a god in order to do what she aims to do, then eventually she'll do it. One way or another, she plans on eliminating death. But in order for her to do that, in order for her to quote unquote save the world, she kind of has to defeat the demons of the abyss. She recognizes that that is the biggest threat to Golarion at the moment, so hence why she's here. I commuted Staunton's sentence and stripped him of his rank, not just for him, but for my army and my country. We are not Hell Knights. We do not maintain discipline with public executions. The Hell Knights are a collection of knightly orders with unique focus on the promulgation of law. They are interested less in social goodness and charity typical of paladins, but rather in the foundation and stringent maintenance of order at all cost. People cannot be trusted to obey the law of their own senses of civility and social righteousness. Hell Knights provide need to obey out of fear of a master's stern hand. And Rin here, you punish him with a life of disgrace and humiliation, and that life finally broke him. It's sad but not surprising. Perhaps exile would have been a more merciful sentence than decades of service among those who despised him. So hoping might atone for his guilt with a heroic act, but he likely decided that atonement was impossible, and might as well give himself over to evil. That's exactly what happened. What forces are at my disposal? Everyone we saw today at the parade, first among them the Eagle Watch, who remain a powerful force thanks to Erebeth's resourcefulness. Also marching with you are several minor knightly orders, as the minor volunteer units like to be called. And finally, I've personally selected some recruits from Nerosian. They have little in the way of battle experience, but great determination and a thirst to prove themselves. I've always thought that an army benefits from at least one such unit. These forces, as they said, are enough for a march on Dresden, but for a brave commander, and I hope you are one, that's just the beginning. If we retake Dresden, recover the holy power of the Sword of the Valor, and gain a foothold in the region, the new armies will join under your banner. The Fifth Crusade is only beginning. Many battles and victories lie ahead. It's been decades and no one has managed to retake the city. Why do you think we're different? We have a chance now that we haven't seen in decades. That's more than that. You created this chance for us by foiling Demon's plans in Canabras. The army who attacked the city came straight from Dresden. Demon hordes from the Abyss are usually encamped there, but many of them perished on the streets of Canabras. We must act swiftly before they can restore their forces. When the city is free and the Sword of Valor appears before our soldiers, they won't be sending in any more reinforcements. Demons cannot teleport into an area protected by the banner of the goddess. What about long-term goals? Do you know how to get rid of the World Wound forever? Now you're talking like a real knight commander. The queen nods in approval, then frowns. However, answering your question is not easy. To win this war, we must bar the demon's way. There are a few planar rifts leading to the abyss across the territory we call the World Wound. The best specialists we could find have tried to close them on separate occasions, with no success as you may have guessed. The World Wound's more than just a chain of portals to the abyss. We don't understand its nature yet. The methods of rift closure known to magical science simply do not work here. However, we have a hypothesis, and a rather well-grounded one, that we must begin at the source of the problem, the place where the World Wound has opened. The main rift lies through the city of Iz and the Threshold Fortress, deep in the former lands of Sarkoris. We have never managed to fight our way so far and gain a foothold to allow the mages to explore the origins of the World Wound. So the next step after you succeed in Dresden is offensive push deeper into the world wound, with the aim of reaching threshold, the very threshold of the abyss. I have no more questions. Wonderful. Did you know that the souls of angels from heaven are confined in the wardstone? A furrow forms in the Queen's brow. I guessed as much. Many angels fought alongside us in the First Crusade. Heaven was unable to mobilize its full might to aid us, but individual celestials volunteered to fight for our cause. Then one day they all vanished, saying they were setting off on an important mission. Not long after, Iomedes' herald directed the first wardstone in Canabras, none of the others in cities across Mendev. Even back then I had nagging doubts. My faith in Iomedes easily assuaged them. It is for us to serve the goddess after all, not to question her works. In any case, I'm glad you did not allow the demons to commit sacrilege and gain control of the wardstone in Canabras. I have lost one of the wardstones, but the chain is still standing. You should know I received an unusual gift in the caves beneath Canabras. In a vision I saw the death of an angel called Lariel. Somehow he was able to grant me the ability to reveal the light of heaven. Lariel! I knew him. He disappeared shortly before the whirlwind grew and Dresden fell into the enemy's hands. In the chaos, we had more important concerns than investigating the fate of a single angel, even one so righteous and beloved as Lariel. And afterward, ours took a turn for the worse. The angels left us to go on their special mission. A smile, kind and sad, crossed the Queen's face. It's so strange to hear the names I used to hear when I was young, like getting a message from the past. It's sad news, but it brings me back to the times when we strongly believed in our victory, and we rushed headlong towards it without fear. Could it be that such times have come again? And what are you going to do? Galfrey arched an eyebrow. My immediate plans are to overlook a spot of insubordination. However, I shall answer you. I shall prepare the defenses at Neurosian and all the other border cities and plan the future of the crusade. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Knight Commander? Hmm. Yeah, Rin is not good. Or rather, she has sparks of goodness in her. She has a good heart that has been so horrendously misled and has been jaded and worn down that, like, while she still has good intentions, her actions and her twisted moral compass have set her down a very dark path. Is it possible that Rin could be redeemed? Certainly. But, like, in this case, between these two, rather than going, oh, you're the hope of the crusade and all this stuff, Rin knows about Queen Galfrey's exceptionally long life, and especially with the eyes of the Aeon, that let her look keenly into the truth of things. She looks at the fact that Queen Galfrey has unnaturally lengthened her lifespan, which she has no problem with. But then she goes, what are you doing with it? You have lived for over 100 years eternally young, and you're not doing anything with it. Does the Church of Iomedae really spend so much effort prolonging your life, Queen, just so you can watch the battle from the rear? You're the living banner of the Crusades, and your duty is on the front lines. Queen seems astonished but not outraged. She fixes her piercing eyes on you. It's been a long time since anyone tried to talk to me quite like that, like an interrogator at a trial. I don't know if you realize what you're suggesting. If our enemies in the depths of the wound were to discover that I was with your army, they would immediately send their most vicious demons to attack. They would stop at nothing to be rid of me and thereby sow chaos across Mendev. But you're right. I shouldn't be sitting down in the rear. I'm a warrior queen and a queen of warriors, and my fighters have forgotten what I look like. Fine. I shall join the crusade by on my own terms. First, I shall assemble my entourage and lead the parade out of the camp. I shall catch up with you later, among with a few hand-picked bodyguards. We'll change our armor, I'll become a knight of a minor order, and join the troops incognito. Until we approach Dresden, no one should know I am among you. But before we storm the city, I shall show myself to the troops and join the battle. Let it be a surprise for the demons. I hope you won't complain of my company on the road, Commander, since you were the one who insisted upon it. Galfrey chuckles. Do you have any other questions? The task is clear. Splendid. Ah, yes. The Queen gives you an impish wink. We have one final matter to attend to. It should be rather enjoyable. Count, there you are. You received my instruction. I did, though I did not have time to read the thing before I was dragged before your highness. In truth, I was readying myself to depart. No matter. I trust you will forgive your sovereign for the rather brusque summons, especially when you learn what prompted it. Queen makes a stately gesture in your direction. As you are aware, Zetran has recently been appointed my knight commander in the Fifth Crusade. I spent a long while pondering who to appoint to the highly sensitive post of Commander's Field Attaché and Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Oh my god! Rin is thoroughly amused by the queen right now and approves. Congratulations, Count. Darren's cool expression wavers, but he seems not to be fully cognizant of what is happening. That or he's holding himself tightly in check. It's a great honor, I suppose. It's a great idea. I knew you would approve, Commander. The Queen bestows a smile on you, then brings her gaze to rest on Darren once more. I had my doubts about whether you were ready for such a responsibility, Count, but your conduct in Canabras has put my mind at ease. So you will travel with the troops to Dresden. Only the commander may remove you from your post, but I trust you will dutifully fulfill her orders and make a good showing of yourself. Oh, Raiden is so fucking pleased. Because she has thought Darren is an utter child. She's all for enjoying life, but as far as being a spiteful little asshole, there we go. She doesn't approve of that. It's one thing to genuinely strike out against your enemies. It's another thing to, make the queen's friend's helmet into a chamber pot. So Rhaenyn's all for this. Especially since word of your appointment, Count, will reach the court at any moment. All of Mendev's nobility will be following your successes in service to the nation, including all your devoted admirers. I even heard that one bard with whom you are particularly friendly has already begun composing a ballad to honor your heroic participation in the crusade and your faithful service to the commander here. The Count offers a bow, either as a sign of respect or in order to hide his flushed face. Only the barest quaver can be heard in his voice. Your largesse truly knows no bounds, dear cousin. I am most gratified by the honor you have shown me. Then let's get going. May Eomade help us. Oh, goodness. Hey, you should totally equip the scythe to Rin, It would be so much better than your +1 rapier. Except for the fact that I can't use two-handed weapons because I'm a Magus. Well. Oh, hi, Anevia. I wasn't expecting you. Anevia sweeps an inquisitive glance over you. So tell me straight, how'd that brawl at the Grey Garrison end? I heard the rumors, of course. That's kind of my job, to listen. You have no idea what Cobbler's Crusaders say about you. Sorry, I wasn't used to the term cobblers. That's a new term for me. I get the implication. Some say that Eomade came to you and appointed you her herald. Others say you died and Ostgod's angel is now leading the army disguised as you. Alright. Still others say it was just an explosion in an alchemist lab and I'm the one spreading rumors about your powers. I wish. But you really have changed in this great garrison. It's hard to describe. You've been kinda smarter. More dangerous. I've a gut feeling about these things. If it ain't, I'd already be dead. You're dangerous, Commander. My Desna, I hope you'll be dangerous to our enemies and not to us. Or to yourself. Reasonable.
All according to plan.
How can I serve you? I can use the army of mongrels you promised me. Tundra shrugs philosophically. Yes, it would be useful in this campaign. If we had more time and didn't have to be in such a hurry, go to Sol, show him the trophies we took from demons. He'd stop shaking in fear on some of the tribes. But as I see it, we can't linger, right? We'll have to deal with Sol after we conquer Dresden. Rin is slowly growing to dislike Wendwag. Because Wendwag promised a lot of things. And she has yet to deliver. She's a good fighter and companion. Rin will still keep her around because of that, but Wendwag is slowly sliding out of Rin's favor, as it were. Commander? A tall man with piercing yellow-green eyes gives you a brief nod. Let me personally congratulate you on your new title, and thank you for your time in advance. I am Leotra Hawkblade, Inquisitor of the Church of Viomede, the Bringer of Light. I require your assistance in a certain delicate matter involving one of your companions, young Count Darin Arende. Wendwag is one of my favorite characters. I'm just, like I said, I personally like Wendwag a lot. Rin's starting to wonder if she's ever going to deliver on her promise. That's the thing, is like, she's like, oh no, we'll wait till Dresden. And Rin's like, okay, we'll wait towards Dresden. You have a point. We are in a rush. When we're not in a rush, I expect you to deliver. Are you one of Prelate Holman's followers? Leotra's face freezes for a moment, but he nods. Yes, of course. Are you aware that it was I who killed him? Leotra's face proclaims his astonishment. No, I wasn't aware. Why are you revealing this to Inquisitor and so calmly? That's a surprisingly bold move. Bewildered, he's at a loss for words. How did this happen? I wanted to protect a priest of Desna. He was deemed a traitor and threatened with execution. I will have to confirm your testimony when I finish investigating Count's case, but knowing the revered Holrin and his attitude towards Destin's all too well, I also know that it is true. This news is hard to accept. Why did I leave Canabras when everyone needed me the most? Perhaps I could have protected the people and prevented my brethren from making fatal mistakes that led to such an ignominious end. Tell me more about yourself, Inquisitor. I want to know who I'm dealing with. I'm Ulfin by birth, but I've lived in Mendev for most of my life, dedicating myself to the service of the Inheritor. My warrior brethren mostly worship Gorham, but I've never been eager to fight for the sake of battle alone. I was a good fighter in my early youth, and I could easily best most of my peers, but I didn't enjoy showing off my skills. Victory is bland on its own. Purpose adds flavor to war. I can't say that I have always been a faithful sword of Iomade. Back in my mercenary days, fate brought me to the borders of Mendev, where I spent quite a lot of time among the Crusaders. Fighting shoulder to shoulder with my righteous comrades in arms and watching demons commit their atrocities eventually led me to something I've been seeking my whole life. Purpose and faith. That is how I found my calling. Even though it may be hard at times, I've never regretted my decision. What brings you here? I ask you to assist the Church of Iomade in an investigation of the utmost importance. I understand that the leader of the crusade has plenty of other matters to attend to, but please allow me to tell you the details. Perhaps it will explain why I'm calling upon you. The Inquisitor's open face instantly reveals his feelings. He frowns and looks through you, lost in thought for a moment. Suppose you've already heard about Count Arende's story. I refer to the tragedy at Heaven's Edge estate. Tell me what happened at Heaven's Edge. About 10 years ago, several powerful demons managed to penetrate the Wardstone barrier and commit mass murder of all the guests who attended the feast in celebration of young Darin's birthday. The unknown magical disease they had brought wiped out the whole estate in less than a day. It was not a unique case in itself. Demons have attended such raids on Mundevian lands before. They had never dared target such a well-protected place. The Arende family was exceptionally rich. The estate was protected by elite bodyguards. There were several strong righteous paladins among the guests, and moreover, the revered Nestrin, Darin's tutor, was one of the most powerful priests of Iomade in the vicinity. All of them died nonetheless, except for the young count, who had suddenly manifested his outstanding sacred healing powers. Was that a divine miracle or a curse? That remains to be seen. You're going to investigate this old case again, aren't you? Yes, I am. I have several reasons to doubt the widely shared account of what exactly happened at the estate or how it happened. It You see, Commander, I was among those sent to examine the estate after the incident. I saw everything with my own eyes, and I still remember it clearly, even though it feels like it happened a lifetime ago. Heaven's Edge was a unique place that still carried the spirit of old Mendev. Mendev before the Whirlwind. Yeah, on that day, it turned into a labyrinthine house of horrors, like something only seen in our nightmares. Apologies for the digression, I want to tell you about my suspicions. Everything about the incident seemed odd. Why was the only person left alive a young body with newfound talent for divine magic? Why did nobody send to Canabras for help, even though the agony spanned many hours? We found the demons dead with their heads cut off when we got into the estate. How were they defeated? How did the disease kill even the paladins present at the estate, who were said to be immune to any disease? If the demons had found a way to penetrate the Holy Warrior's defenses, why has this never been repeated since tragedy at Heaven's Edge? You are the only person who can help me here, Commander, because the only living witness of those events is currently serving in your army. Your army's route will take you to near the very site of the tragedy. Heaven's Edge has been abandoned and sealed with potent magic throughout all these years, and only the Count has the power to break that seal. He is unlikely to invite an Inquisitor inside. In any case, he won't like me sniffing around his family seat. But if you, as his commander, express your wish to visit the estate, he will be obliged to fulfill it, and I will simply follow you as one of your attendants. There are 100 ways, 1,000 paths, myriad loopholes in human lives that the forces of evil can use to their advantage. I'm not sure which one of those led the demons to the gates of Heaven's Edge, but I do know it wasn't a simple raid, the kind faced by Crusaders face every day. That incident involved a significantly more powerful entity, and that is why I'm asking for your help. We cannot be sure that such a tragedy will not happen again until we uncover the truth. You've already been to the estate several times. What do you expect to find now? I was young and inexperienced Quizzer when I first visited Heaven's Edge 10 years ago. My skills have improved significantly since then. I have paid dearly for that. The Ultra makes a vague gesture pointing at his scars. My arsenal includes maze spells and techniques dedicated to gathering information about people and events. Almost all of them require me to be physically present in the place where the event in question happened. That's why I must return to Heaven's Edge. Why can't you just search the estate yourself without involving me? The estate is abandoned and sealed with powerful containment enchantments that only the Count himself can lift. This is not the main reason, however. The main reason is that Count Aronde is not officially under investigation by the Inquisition, so I couldn't just break into his house even if I found a way to bypass the spells. This is a serious matter. A matter that threatens the reputation of the entire Church of Iomedae and my own organization in particular. We made more than enough unforgivable mistakes during the Third Crusade and are still dealing with their consequences. Your presence will give my investigation the necessary legitimacy, Commander. But there's more. In addition to getting official permission, I'd also like to bring an independent third-party investigator to this case. Someone independent but well-respected, and you fit this role perfectly. Did you question Darren himself? I did, but the Count insisted he couldn't remember anything about the incident due to severe shock. He saw the demons at the very beginning when they appeared at the celebration to announce the onset of the plague and mock their victims. He also witnessed the death of his mother, Countess Selena. That was all he would tell me. We had found the young Count sleeping like a log on the floor in one of the rear chambers, having drunk about half the family wine cellar all by himself. There was no reason to disbelieve him on that matter. Do you suspect Darren is hiding something, that he's blamed for the tragedy? I deliberately refuse to entertain any theories or suspicions so it doesn't affect the investigation. There's a saying among my colleagues that suspicion is the mother of prejudice, and prejudice is married to failure. I can only tell you that Count Aronde wasn't suffering from demonic possession, the most common maladies in our country at the time. Prelate Holren himself examined the boy right after the tragedy and didn't sense anything awry with him. I'll help you. What do you need me to do? The Ultra bows his head to you with exceptional reverence. Thank you, Commander. Now I ask you to speak to the Count and tell him that you wish to see Heaven's Edge. Please do not inform him of my presence right away. I will join your escort when it's time to travel to the estate. When we get there, I will also require your help during the investigation. You'll have to follow me, observing my actions as an independent witness. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask me. I will remain here for a while. Okay. Commander, allow me to say something. Your breath looks even more serious than usual. For you, this wasn't a war. It was agony drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered rather than fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Nevia's body, she might be, by some miracle, have survived. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Grey Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that, she says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Nevi alive standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war. In spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what the others could not. I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the Grey Garrison. Irbeth looks down. This scabbard held the solemn hour. My family's sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it was not stolen. I parted with my heirloom willingly to help someone dear to me. Nevia needed expensive healing, and having no other way to procure the money, I pawned my father's sword. I think you have understood. I'm sure you will have given up everything to help the family. I hoped to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I'll have to part with my father's sword forever. Is Nevia sick? You'll forgive me if I don't go into detail. It's a private matter. Suffice it to say, everything is fine now. The treatment is costly, but it was worth it. I can see that you truly love her. A delicate blush appears on Irbeth's cheeks. She nods silently. Irbeth lovingly traces his name imprinted in silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it's worth something. I don't care if I'll ever see the solemn hour again, but at least I have its scabbard back. Thank you. So it turns out the Queen has her head of counterintelligence watching me. Wonder why. Think the Queen doesn't trust you? If that were true, she wouldn't have put you in charge of this army. My main task is to be your advisor until you've gained enough experience as a commander. As for counterintelligence, Nevi and I were tasked with keeping an eye on your inner circle, but you're not under suspicion, Commander. You're under our protection. It's hard to believe your origin is so humble. You deserve a noble title more than many who inherit them. Irbeth's cheeks blushed low. Thank you, Commander. It's an honor to hear that, especially from you. Every noble family begins somewhere. I've heard the recent story from the stolen lands in the River Kingdoms. Just imagine coming from nowhere and making it all the way to a royal crown in just a few years. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I managed to distinguish myself somehow. Then I push away such unworthy, selfish thoughts, of course. We don't fight for rewards. The fight of the world is at stake, and yet... Irbeth's blush deepens, and she falls silent. I have to go. Hello, Ember. How are you handling your new abilities? Abilities? What are you talking about? Oh, the tricks you learned when the big gray house blew up? They're funny. Thanks for teaching them to me. The Queen gave me the title Knight Commander and put me in charge of an army. What do you think about that? The elf focuses a wondering look on yours, smiles and shakes her head. Don't believe titles. All of us in the world are children in the street. Barefoot, hungry, scared. Step away from death. Some imagine they're strong and rich like gods, but don't forget who you really are behind the title. Ember is such a sweet Simon role and must be protected. Absolutely fucking precious. Knight Commander, how can I help? There's much I can do, just ask. Nora looks at you with eyes filled with enthusiasm. She's holding a notebook and a traveler's inkwell. Probably heard about the wound I have, the one that's sometimes open on my chest. Can you perhaps tell me if it's some kind of demonic curse? Yes, indeed, I've been told of your affliction. Nora appears at the center of your chest. Can you will the wound open? No? That's a shame. What can you tell me about this wound? Well, it's difficult to say. I know of blades that leave never-healing cuts, poisons that stop wounds from healing. I've heard of witches' curses that reward with eternal wounds, but wounds that seem to reopen and heal over and over. Perhaps you know of other cases like this? Let's think. In 4671, a Mendevian army corporal had all his bones and cartilage turned to glass. In 4700, a scribe in Canabras had all her skin suddenly come away like she'd been boiled. And in 4638, oh! You don't happen to have insects crawling all over you? Locusts? No? Rats, perhaps? Too bad. Do you think it's dangerous? Most likely it's dangerous, but you're under the protection of Iomade, Commander. She granted you mythic power, as they say. Surely the Inheritor would not leave you to face this alone? Have you perhaps noticed the wound opens at moments when you waver in your faith? Perhaps it is triggered by doubt? Hmm. This is actually legitimately true that it does, and so Rin's a bit surprised and worried. It's like, why the fuck is Iomade watching me? Type scenario. Thank you for your answers. Sorry I couldn't tell you anything useful. I'll be sure to study this matter and consult a few of my encyclopedias. Tell me about yourself. Oh my, I could tell you so many amazing things, and you choose the most boring one of all. Alright, about myself then. Where are you from? Isker. A small piece of land that proudly calls itself a country, though it hasn't been independent for a single day in all the centuries it's existed. They have a lot of national pride, but all of it's borrowed. Always looking to the great day when they can be at least be free of the rule of Cheliax. The Iscari love talking politics. If two of them start bargaining over beats in the market, you can be sure that they'll end up arguing about whether an independent Isker will be a monarchy or a republic. I've always found it funny to listen to, and a little disgusting. See, there are a lot of us halflings in the country, but very few are citizens. Most are slaves. I was lucky. I've always been clever ever since I was little, so they sent me to school instead of making me do the grunt work. They taught me to count and write, and I was sold as a secretary to Lord Axelar Tresbot. He's the one I left Esgar with, never to return, I hope. How did you come to serve Queen Galfrey? I was a slave at Lord Axelar Tresbot of Lord Axelar Tresbot in Isgar, my homeland. Oh, what a man he was! He towered over his fellows like a rock over a garbage heap. True hero. He brought me as a simple secretary, but he made me learn the history of the world wound. All of it, one volume after another. He hired tutors for me, even sent me to meet prominent historians. He didn't want a simple slave, but a slave with an impeccable education. It. I've tried clicking on it and it doesn't do anything right now. Trust me, it's fucking with me too. Lord Tresbot was going on a crusade. He firmly believed that the servants of the good gods were weak, and only a follower of Asmodeus could stand against the demon invasion. uh, uh. I mean, okay. He took me along as a secretary, a historian, and most importantly, he entrusted me with recording his glorious story for future generations. In his crusade, Lord Tresbot performed many brave feats, but even he could not stand against the world wound alone. His final battle with the demons, when Lord realized he was doomed, his final act was to cover my retreat so he could tell the world of his great deeds. Some people have said that what he did was not heroic, but just an arrogant moron putting himself up one last time. But I say curse their tongues. My difficult journey ended in Mentev, where I found my freedom. There I published Lord Tresbot's biography, and I don't want to boast, but who am I kidding? Of course I do. Books sold in great numbers and made me rather famous for a time. That's what brought me to the Queen's attention. She invited me to her court. After all, she was curious about my deceased lord, and she was in great need of an expert on the history of the world wound. I hope you'll find me useful as well. I'll try to take a look at it here in a minute. So you're not a historian, but a writer too? You wrote a book about my crusade? Why not? As soon as we finish out the demons, I'll get right to it. Just take care that you don't end up like Lord Tresbot. Do you worship any deity? When I was a slave in Isgard, they would beat me to a stick to force me into believing in Asmodeus. They hit me and said it was for my own good. Ever since then, I don't like temples. Well, they're different gods like Desna or Caden who teach goodness and freedom, but it's just, as I smell frankincense, I see the slave driver's stick. Maybe one day I'll be able to turn into a deity without cringing from a blow that for not being reverent enough, but for now I let others pray for me. You know, it sounds sincere, but you feeling she's holding something back? Tell me the history of the world wound. We could talk about that for hours. What exactly do you want to know? Tell me about Old Sarkoris. It was an unforgiving country, inhabited by numerous tribes of Caleb barbarians. Imagine Numeria, but without the Metal Mountains, or the realm of the Mammoth Lords, but with a milder climate. That's Sarkoris. The country was ruled by priests of forgotten deities and shamans. It's said that even back then, before the World Wound, the boundary between worlds was especially thin in this region. Since ancient times, Sascaria has claws sunk deep into the minds of the locals. His cults thrived here for many centuries. Aroden tried to stamp them out, but in the end, of course, he passed away. How the World Wound come to be. It happened the year Aroden died, 4606, a little over a century ago. No one knows if timing was coincidental, or if there's some connection with Garroden's death. But I'll tell you what we do know. The priests and shamans who ruled Sarkoris hated arcane magic and all who practiced it. Wizards and sorcerers were driven from the land or worse. One of their prisons held a witch named Arilu Vorlash. We know nothing about her besides her name, and of course the atrocities she committed. By some unknown method, she managed to harness the terrible power of the demon lord Discari. Together they tore open the barrier between worlds, opening a rift to the abyss in the very middle of Sarkoris. The world wound slowly but mercilessly expanded, devouring more and more land. In a matter of years, Sarkoris was memory. Sometimes I think, what did they do in that prison? Just imagine, she was ready to give herself to the abyss, if only the demons might devour her tortures along with her. To imagine such hatred terrifies me. Tell me about the First Crusade. It began in 4622. Yes, it took the church and the secular authorities nearly 2 decades and hundreds of thousands of lives before they decided to take action. In the meantime, Sarkoris was only supported by handfuls of volunteers. By the time the crusade began, the demons already invaded Mendev. Crusaders pushed them back, and must have seen total triumph at the time. The forces of good easily crushing the demons on all fronts. They elected Dresden on the lands they conquered, an indestructible fortress in the capital of the Crusader movement. In 4638, years after it began, the First Crusade was declared victorious. It was the first triumph of the Crusaders, and fortunately the last. Tell me about the Second Crusade. 4638, the world wound suddenly started expanding. A new wave of demons appeared. Crusaders were all but delighted. Last time they'd routed the forces of the Abyss, and they welcomed another chance to prove themselves. This time everything was different. Instead of scattered gangs, they faced a large and organized army. Dresden was besieged, and the Crusaders lost all the lands they went back before. They had to retreat, and all that remained of Sarkoris was left to the demons. But while the monsters were devouring the unprotected lands, the Crusaders erected a chain of wardstones along the border with the World Wound. We have Iomade and her herald to thank for their help. The Second Crusade's only victory, but halted the wound's growth. The catastrophe had become a stalemate at the cost of tremendous sacrifice. Tell me about the Third Crusade. About 50 years after the opening of the World Wound, Skari found an ally. Baphomet entered the war, a cunning, insidious demon lord who prefers deception to open conquest. He set his enemies against each other and lures the virtuous onto the back of wickedness. Traitors appeared among the Crusaders, secret agents of his cult. For a time no one suspected the thing, even as they watched helplessly as the Crusader movement fell to ruin. Where once valor proudly stood, now greed and dumb cruelty reigned, and outrage was drowned in apathy. In 4665, the church announced a new crusade, hoping to boost morale. They didn't succeed, to put it mildly. Some fought demons in earnest. For a time they even dared to hope to retake Dresden. But the Third Crusade will be remembered as a witch hunt in every sense. Inquisitors hoped to purge any cultists from ranks of fighters, but instead they got a barrage of denunciations, widespread suspicion, and innocent victims. Sometimes happened the two orders would denounce each other as traitors, wipe each other out, much to the demons' delight. Just 3 years later, in 4668, the church put the disgrace to an end. Of all the crusades, that one was least glorious. Tell me about the Fourth Crusade. The demons had no intention of staying quietly caged behind the ward stones. They kept attacking Canopus, trying to reach the stone and destroy it, or to scratch the surface, or even if that was impossible, to foul it. Crusaders drove the demons away from the city again and again. Fourth Crusade would last for 15 years, an exhausting study in positional warfare. Demons attacked and they were pushed back. The Crusaders went on the offensive or were forced to retreat. And all the while, the losses were tremendous. The Fourth Crusade's only achievement was that they didn't let a single wardstone fall. They didn't retake a sliver of land, to say nothing of Dresden. So many lives just to maintain the stalemate. Imagine how that affected morale. Thank you for your answers. You just have to remember to stop me or I'll go on about it forever. I have to go. If you have any questions, come back. Alright, let's click. Okay, so yeah, we do click this door. Oh god. Oh, buddy. Welcome to beta. Okay, yeah, so clicking the M directly does it, rather than anything in the character screen or the level up or anything else like that. Okay. Um, I'm kind of impressed by this. Anyways, we are now a mythic hero. Mythic characters that draw their power from death can channel negative energy to deal damage to living creatures or to heal undead creatures. Channeling energy causes a burst that either heals all undead creatures or damages all living creatures in a 30-foot radius centered on the mythic character. The amount of damage dealt or healed is equal to 2d6 plus 1d6 per mythic rank. Creatures that take damage from channel energy receive a will save to have the damage. DC of this save is equal to 10 plus mythic rank plus the character's charisma, wisdom, or intelligence modifier, whichever is higher. Creatures healed by a channel energy cannot exceed the maximum hit points total. All excess healing is lost. Character may channel energy number of times per day equal to 3 plus mythic rank. This is a standard action and does not provoke an attack of opportunity. Hey, thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid, hells yeah. We are grabbing our mythic abilities, our first basic mythic abilities for Wrath of the Righteous. Oh, cool. That's cool. Oh, that's good. Abundant casting. You can cast 4 more spells per day at first, second, and third levels each. Holy shit, that's really good for Magus, which is kind of hampered. Send an element, that's neat. The damage of that energy type you deal can no longer be prevented or reduced by resistances or immunities. Oh my god, do that with Lightning Grasp? Holy shit, that's good. It's going good. We are officially the Knight Commander of the 5th Crusade. We've gotten some things done and taken care of. Hey, thank you for the follow. I have no idea how you would even say that. Sapam 6? CPA 6? I don't know. Either way, Ascends Summons. That's decent. That's jokes. You are the master of the hideous laughter spell. Thank you for the follow, Surge1970. Thank you for the follow, Surge. If we could cast Hideous Laughter as Magus, this would be fucking amazing because this is so good. Infectious Hideous Laughter. Boundless Healing. Though you're using the Reach spell. Entirely on your caster level and disregards any limits in the original spell. Holy shit. That's good for some people. Wounds you inflict with your natural attacks are anything but natural. Now, ignore all damage reduction except untyped. Okay. Cleaving Shot. Each time you deal critical damage with your ranged weapon attack or reduce the target to 0 hit points, you deal your weapon damage to all other enemies in 10-foot radius. Damn. Mental Retribution. With every time you are targeted by an enemy spell, you gain the ability to teleport to the spellcaster as a move action for the next 2 rounds. Oh. Oh, that's good. All these are good. I actually really like these. Holy shit. Ranged weapon attacks are dangerous enough for the enemy to forget about melee threats. If you hit an enemy with a ranged weapon attack, they will receive a penalty on AC against melee attacks equal to half your mythic rank for 1 round. That's okay. Domain Zealot. Use the abilities for domains as a swift action. That's pretty good. Elemental Barrage. Every time you deal energy damage to a creature, you apply an elemental mark to it. If during the next 3 rounds you deal energy damage to a marked target with a different type of energy, target is dealt additional divine damage. Oh, that's cool. Enduring spells is okay. if they're longer than an hour but shorter than 24 hours, they are now 24 hours. That's not that good. Like, it's okay, but it's not that good. Because most of the ones are like, oh yeah, it'll last longer than an hour, are an hour per level. So it's a kind of a moot point. Some people motivate their commands by mere presence. Every time you damage an ally, they gain a +2 mythic bonus on attack and damage rolls, and +1 mythic bonus on all saving throws. Say fuck it and throw fireball, yeah. Whenever you make an attack of opportunity, you gain a bonus on the attack roll and damage rolled equal to your mythic rank. Number of attacks of opportunity you can make each round is increased by 2. That's good. Ranged weapon attack exposes enemies vulnerable points. Every third hit with a ranged weapon against same enemy deals additional 1d6 per 2 mythic ranks divine damage. I'd rather like cleaving shot or something at that point. Then I might be about to find that glitch. Because I waited for a regular level up. Whoops. Your allies within 50 feet of you gain a bonus equal to half your mythic ranks +1 to initiative. Their saving throws against mind infecting effects and their concentration checks. That's good. Your mission is too important to fall in battle, and your mythic powers let you endure unbelievable things. Once per day when your HP drops low, you become unkillable. For 2 rounds, you become immune to damage that would make you unconscious. Every time you hit a target in melee combat, you leave a mark on it. And any ally attacking the mark target deals additional divine damage equal to 1d6 per mythic rank to the target, consuming the mark. Pretty cool. Limitless rage. No longer have a limited amount of rage rounds per day. You gain a temporary hit point for every 2 rounds of rage you would be limited to without this spell. That's good for like a Blood Ranger or a Barbarian. Oh, that's really good. Just smack, get rid of magic. Okay. You can use it any number of times per day. That's good for a druid. Yeah, I did the regular level up before the mythic as well. Your charge attacks deal additional divine damage equal to 1d6 per mythic rank. That's decent. Your shadow spells are 20% more real. Cool. Every time you miss an enemy with a ranged weapon attack, your aim improves, giving you a stacking +1 bonus on attacks against the same enemy up to a maximum of your mythic rank. Every successful hit lessens the bonus by 1. I'd rather not rely on missing. Oh, that's cool. Gain a bonus on your attack rolls with ranged weapons equal to the penalty to AC the target receives from their size. Oh, that's good. Unstoppable. Those require more other stuff. So what we're actually going to do... What we're actually going to do, and we're going to choose, is Abundant Casting, because 4 more first, second, and third spells is really good for the Mongoose who's otherwise limited by a couple things. A lot of these are really good. And I'll pick them up later. Like, Ascendant Element is really good. Like, extra, like, being able to cast Lightning Grasp, one of the Mogus's best spells, and Ignore Resistance is really good. But having a bunch more spells is also really good. It'll mean that I can more actively use spellcasting. And on that front, holy shit. Well, with that in mind, that's so good. I'm just sitting there going, damn. Now there's Magic Missile. Alright, and now for the actual big ones. So, Stone Call. Now their use of Blur and Mirror Image each. Being able to be invisible would be good, and Acid Arrow. Jesus, that's so good. Alright, okay. You are a mythic companion. Honestly, you having more spells is also good. Mostly because I'm not bringing you anywhere, so I'm not that worried about what you have. But since we're on the topic of, grabbing stuff. There we go. Let's see. No, I'm not going to give you abundant casting. Not you. You? You, I want to be able to smack someone and make other people who are smacking the same thing better. All right, you get a fun thing. Send an element fire. That's not bad, but you also get a special thing, I know. Witch Wandering Hex. Select any witch hex and grants you the ability to use the selected hex. You lose the ability to use the hex after choosing another hex with this ability. Oh, that's not as good as I thought. Yeah, we'll do Ascendant Element. That's fine. Her being able to just have free ignore fire resist on demons is good because she does have some good fire spells. Dayrin! Hey, buddy. So you have Boundless Healing, and that's actually fine. And that's legitimately good, and that's what I want you to have. Wendwalk. You, I want you to have Cleaving Shot. Or No, Exposed Vulnerability is good. Because you'll be able to... You're going to be hitting a lot of stuff easily. Your animal companion is just as mythic as you. Fuck yes. Make Smiler better at some point. But Exposed Vulnerability for now. Okay, Smiler. You want your level up now. Alright, sure, buddy. Abundant casting. Hold on, I need to check something. Before I do that, he has access to Tasha's, yeah? Or, sorry, Hideous Laughter, yes? He does. And because he's made of bullshit, because Woljif is made of literal bullshit, yes, best jokes. Fuck you, Woljif. Sela! Ever ready? Maybe. Honestly, I like her just being an aura of awesome. A beacon of awesome. Yeah, we'll go ahead and let her be a beacon of awesome. Hello, Helor. I'm Helor, Venture Captain of the Pathfinder Society. The superior officer among Pathfinders in this region, Mendev, where the Society is running almost no operations here right now. Besides me, there are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper named the Spinner of Nightmares. I had to work alone without the support of the Society. I've made a lot of acquaintances among local mercenaries and daring fighters. You need any good fighters for an honest cause? Talk to me. Alright, We're obsessed with twisting minds of their victims, target fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital is full of perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. They returned, they were different, almost normal. The moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark woke in their mind, transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. Labyrinth of the Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles of Mindev. Baron Fallen stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath, too resistant to their spells. He fought for his freedom until the strain broke his heart. He opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pit of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds into the world. They dreamed of horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground and slaughtered everyone we could. But the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter Lori, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. In that note I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of the Mind. My hunt had begun. We get Lori back at any cost. Alright. As a girl, Lori was just an angel. Lost her mother early on. She was left to follow my example, drifter with little idea how to talk to a 10-year-old girl. Even with such questionable parenting, Lori managed to grow into a wonderful girl. Brave, smart, beautiful, and entirely unbearable. She always argued with me about anything. When Lori was 18, she told me she was going to be a Pathfinder. All I said was, alright. And there was no use trying to talk her out of it. She was a fine Pathfinder. I'll never forget this Spinner of Nightmares for taking my girl from me. That just talks about the Pathfinder Society, which is just a group of stuff. They go around, they do good things. You know, normal stuff. Camellia! Greetings. The neat smile on Camelia's lips disappears so quickly you almost wonder if you imagined it. What do you think of the powers you receive from me? People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. Powers I receive from you are useful, but I see no point in treating them with excessive piety. I won't keep you. There you are. I've been waiting. As you see, I too have joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing the sword, but war is costly and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe. Horga shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. I believe I owe you an apology. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered. You are not an honorable person. You have clawed your way up from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander, and you are friends with King Galfrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. Horgus tilts his head in a brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please allow me to give you this magic amulet from my humble personal treasury to mark our future cooperation. I've decided to support the Crusades now. With all due respect, that's none of your business. I have my reasons. Perhaps I felt a rush of patriotism when Canabras was destroyed. Anyway, why would you think I never supported the Crusaders? Perhaps I simply don't like to brag about my donations? Ostentatious charity only attracts beggars. I wager that Arabeth has no idea whose money she's spending on drinks and supplies. Why'd you hide the fact that Camellia is your daughter? Didn't I tell you this at the mansion? Lowly half-elf who looked after my garden. Was one to join the Gordon name with another noble family. Grim legacy must not be mixed with common blood and banished into obscurity. Or else in mind we managed to hide a relationship. How did her mother die? I'm not going to tell you about that. Some things ought to remain private. Acquainted with the Count, David Narende? Of course I am. He's a brilliant young man with a brilliant pedigree. That story of his. Nobility is the glue that keeps our society together. Suppose that's why demons so often choose poor estates as primary targets. Sorry, their estates as primary targets. Who knows the demons' bloody massacres have only slaughtered poor country folk? The Arundel family shared the tragic plight of the Worms. Along with many other members of the nobility, they fell victim to a treacherous attack during a major celebration taking place at their family estate. I hadn't received an invitation, was slightly insulted by the snub, but turned out to be a blessing in disguise. The gods saved me from a terrible fate. All the guests that day died from a magical demonic disease. I sympathize with the Count deeply. He has endured so much, and it's no wonder that he keeps him aloof from me. I think this is due to the fact that Horgus Gorm's fate so resembles his own, and we both have to relive those horrible memories whenever we see each other. Okay. Seal looks anxious. She's honing her sword, but her movements seem nervous. The girl doesn't even notice you at first, but when she does, she smiles cheerlessly and stops what she's doing. Hello, so what do you recommend everything's crashing down on us? All the responsibility, command, this new power? I haven't figured it out yet. We'll see what happens next. Watching and waiting is good strategy, probably. I'm still frightened by what happened in the Grey Garrison. Were we really chosen? By Omade herself? Back when I was a snot-nosed kid who just started down the path of becoming a paladin, I imagined once or twice that I was going to do something heroic. Lights would shine down on me, the trumpets would sing, to hear the voice of the goddess. Or at least her herald, you know? I'd been informed that I had been chosen for a great cause. But that's the point where my imagination always failed me. Somehow it really happened. With all the trumpets or the herald or even anyone else explaining what I had to do. Oh, it's clear as day. The place is here in this demon-ridden wound. Quite a lovely war going on, in fact. Endless, I hear. I'm gonna need some time to wrap my hand around this. Sela sighs and laughs weakly. Spare me an hour, and I'll crawl in some dark corner and whine about my hard lot. What can I tell you? I cry easily.
Follow my lead.
There we go. There you are, my dearest commander. So how do you like your new role, advisor? You also enjoy poking me with that stick, don't you? Imagine it, me a crusader. My dearest cousin hoped to teach me a lesson. She managed it perfectly. Something I couldn't avoid without losing face. This idiotic journey leading straight into the demon's maws could have been on a pleasure boat right now. With loveliest songstress and batax on my arm, and a bottle of the finest Kyonin wine to keep us company. Did you also receive a fraction of that unusual power? Looks like it. I genuinely hoped that getting away from you would be the end of it. If your gift truly did come from Iomade, then giving me a smidgen of that power was a very subtle joke on her part. No idea that our divine lightbringer of Mendev even has a sense of humor. Don't get me started on my many acts of sacrilege against her. The obscene engraving, the truth about the test of the Starstone, is the tamest one so far. I'd love to visit Hemiz's Edge and see the Arundel estate someday. Oh, I was just about to mention itself. I've been thinking, now I'm in the middle of this whole crusade nonsense, someone must devise new ways to have fun. With all the recent commotion, my birthday completely slipped my mind. What if we were to celebrate at Heaven's Edge? It's not far from here, and you'll get to enjoy a banquet in a bona fide haunted house. Darren seems to have trouble getting the words out, which clearly indicates how rarely he has to ask for anything. Since you are my superior, and I'm your advisor, I am obliged to ask your permission to leave for the festivities. I want to invite you too. I'm sure the commander can free up in the afternoon while the soldiers are on leave. You really going to throw a banquet at the very place your whole family died? Yes, what of it? Am I supposed to weep and quake with fear for the rest of my life? I stayed away from the damn place for 10 years, and now I'm going to return there to drink, dance, and be merry without care in the world. You can keep your squeamish disapproval to yourself. Alright, deal. I'll have a ball, I'm sure of it. Alright. Let's see. Oh, we've put little earth elementals in the ditch. It's actually very smart.
I know the way.
Hello, Socio. A young cleric stands before an easel, his brush hovering over the canvas without touching it. Instead of painting, the young man absent-mindedly gazes at the sky of Canabras, still streaked with towering plumes of black smoke. Finally notices you and smiles, shaking off his stupor. Hello again. Very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking time to talk to me. It's a pity he wasn't there at the Great Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately it was a good sign. Light above the city showed us that there was still hope. Who are you, and how could you possibly be of use to my army? My name is Socio Vanek, cleric of Shaylin, the Eternal Rose and the Goddess of Beauty. Yes, I know that many people would consider me useless in a war. This is not a usual war, though. Just consider our enemy. The Abyss Sense demons are the very embodiment of everything evil and ugly in the world. Perhaps a disciple of kindness and beauty might come in handy. I have no doubt that we will win this war, Commander. We have to. It's our destiny. My role is to help you and all those standing by your side in the struggle to survive and flourish. Everyone deserves a chance to find peace and happiness in the world that they are defending so selflessly. What are you painting? Hark's eyes linger mournfully on the canvas. The unfinished painting depicts a temple crowned with a rainbow-tailed bird, symbol of Shaylin. 5 people dressed in robes stand before the temple. Men and women, young and old, they all gaze back at you with radiant happiness and joy in their serene eyes. My brothers and sisters in faith. They sent me for help and then... Clark shakes his head in sorrow. Saved my life, Commander. Pyrrhus hadn't ordered me to escape the city and seek help. I would have died right along with them. Instead, I meet Quinn Galfrey on my way to Nerosian and hurriedly return to Canabras, only find my friends dead on the steps of our desecrated temple. Cecil touches the edge of the canvas gently as if patting a friend's shoulder in consolation. I want to draw them the way they live on in my memory. Wise, beautiful, and loyal both to their goddess and their city to the very end. And for once, a little bit of chaos. This is why you have to treasure every moment you spend with the ones you love. Today you're together, but who knows what tomorrow may bring. You're right. Took their company for granted and never even imagined that they might just disappear in the blink of an eye. So many words left unspoken. Now it's my duty to make sure my friends and tours did not die in vain. We'll honor their sacrifice by making this world a bit more beautiful and kind. I made an artist enlist in the army. Perhaps I am a true artist, or simply an amateur who defaces canvases in my spare time. My goddess is patron of art, so painting is a part of my prayer. Put all my heart into my pieces. I am a cleric above all else, so I must also tend to others. I went to war because here's where I am needed most. Sure, I could be painting ideal landscapes and offering them to be prayers to my goddess, but that won't stop people from dying. My goddess has no tolerance for false piety. You wanted to discuss something with me, right? I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Canabras behind, I would like to pay the martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I'd like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral. Perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. I know that you're burdened by many cares right now, so I understand you can't find the time, but if you could, I would be sincerely grateful. Alright. Must be rather busy indeed. Being crusade all by yourself is no joke. Still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance of victory. Alright.
In due time. I'll go ahead.
Bean, you are rather obnoxious, so you know.
I know the way.
Half plate of vigor. Clean and neatly made. Only commanding officers are allowed such luxury during marches. And Neo's over here. There we go. Ah, girl, there you are. Very good, just in time. Delighted to know that I need you for an experiment. Grace Garrison sends Ruthless. Demons are running for the hills with their tails between their legs. Mindev's queen. What's her name? It's on the tip of my... Ah, yes, Galfrey. Scurrying to and fro, and all this is somehow connected to you, my loyal follower. Thus far, there is no scientific evidence of your exceptionality, if one discounts blind faith in divine intervention, which I do. We, people of science, refuse to believe in the inexplicable without any proof. We are the ones who explain the inexplicable. Ninu punctuates her statement with an energetic sweep of her arm. Therefore, open your mouth and say ah for me. Ah. Peers into your mouth with a practiced sigh. Alright, your throat's fine. Tongue's perfectly normal. Your breath smells in line with the regular functioning of the digestive system. Now for your teeth. She sticks one hand in your mouth and probes each of your teeth in turn with the skill of a seasoned dentist. No detectable alterations. By the way, did you know that many individuals, while being wholly civilized representatives of the races, still have an amazingly powerful bite? As if suddenly recalling something, Nenio promptly pulls her hand out of your mouth. Are you truly trying to find a correlation between fang length and civility? Nenio seems slightly embarrassed. For the good of science, I look for correlations everywhere and in everything. How can you prove there's no correlation if you don't bother to look for one? Someone gets on my nerves, I can bite hard enough too. Can you? We definitely must test that someday. Not today. Now we are conducting an experiment of a different kind. Moving on. Alright, what do we have next? Ears! Let's check your hearing. Testing! And you'll right in your ear and nods in satisfaction as she observes your reaction. Hearing is fine. Was fine. Don't worry, it's scientifically proven that should return to normal soon. Next. Eyes are clear, posture is satisfactory, limb length is standard, no lice. She stops, rubs her chin in contemplation, and in a slightly dejected tone says, Girl, you are the picture of health. It's a pity, I was expecting to find some anomaly. Well, now let's assess your mental state. Imagine a hypothetical situation. You are a tree. Two squirrels have found their way into your hollow and are now copulating there. What do you do? I'll do precisely nothing, because I'm a tree. An unconscious act of withdrawal along a lack of the trust in your own abilities, or perhaps just a healthy dose of pragmatism? On to the next question. Another hypothetical situation. You are a tomato. You've just been picked from the vegetable patch and put into a crate. You know that today the cook will use half the tomatoes from your crate to make soup. What do you do? There's something I didn't do. I'm a tomato, remember? An unconscious act of rebel, an ability or willingness to see something bigger behind something small. Alright, I understand. On the surface appears you don't really believe in your ability to change things. In fact, you're a strong pragmatist who knows perfectly well what you can and can't do. Reasoning is that of a mortal, one who is capable of achieving a great deal, though she would deny even that. On that note, I deem this experiment complete. Thank you for your participation. And he looks at you pensively and gestures at you with a wide sweep of her arm. Yet you remain a puzzle to me. I love puzzles. One of these days I will solve you completely. Unless I forget. Now I have time to answer your questions. Go on, ask away. I'd like to clarify a few things about your new task. Okay. No, she has nothing else to say. Okay. That was amusing, kind of. Hey, Chief, want to talk? What do you think of my new powers? You mean what you did back there? A few ideas. Could send you to Patak's underground arena to fight, give you a scary name like Swift Sting or something like that, give you a great cover story. Enemies burn down your house or avenging your dead family. Public eats that stuff up. Or a shiny, eye-catching outfit, or a black one if you like black better. Split prize money 60-40, 60 for me, of course. You know, ranging fights isn't easy. Those people are tough. I'll be taking more risks than you. After we get set up in Bataks, we'll tour different cities, make some real money. What, you don't like the sound of it? Do you have any other suggestions? I got one more. Have you heard of Razmiran? It's some land in the River King's Lord by King Razmir. A friend of mine used to live in Razmiran. He got out of there as fast as he could. Long story short, this King Razmir of theirs is a god. He keeps his people under his heel. They're all terrified of what he might do. He sits on his throne wearing some white mask, giving power to anyone. Come and take power from me, he says, so long as you believe in me. But that friend of mine, the one who fled, has this half-sister of his old man's side who's a cook in the castle, and a washwoman who the cook place cooks with in the evenings told her a juicy rumor. Word is Radmir isn't a real god at all, and he's got no powers. Here's my point, you do have powers, pretty scary ones too. We'll find some shabby little kingdom, I'll start some rumors, you show a few tricks to wow the locals, and that's it, we'll make you a deity. First I want you to put in writing that I'll be your chief advisor. I'm not doing anything just on the nod, I've been there. People promise you mountains of gold, and then when it comes to it, they're all, get lost. Or I'll set the dogs on you. So, do you like the idea? It's an interesting idea, but I need to think about it. Sure thing. Think about it. Just call me if you need me. We'll discuss it. Alright. Alright. That's cute. A Wand of Haste. Hell yeah. That's pretty decent. Also, sell him some of the stuff we found. Oh, that's really good. Veteran's armor. Oh, that's good. Some good stuff in here. Damn. Some of what we have. Still there. Still all the same stuff. Alright, I think that's about all we're gonna find offhand. Well, no time like the present. Here we go. Erebeth pondered sword pay for your treatment. Treatment for what? It was no big deal. I just sat in the cold too long in Cottage Hill. Appreciate the concern, no, but don't worry, I'm healthy as a horse now. Despite Inevia's breezy tone, it's clear she doesn't want to talk about it. Fair enough. Rin will press the issue more another time. But, with all that said and done, so we have an actual legitimate cleric now. Kind of makes me think we should get rid of him, but he has mythic powers, he does not, so we'll keep him for now. If our cleric got mythic powers suddenly, that'd be a different story. Hmm. Finance points, material points, and energy points. Each resource can be attained by winning battles. In the future, you can also receive them by constructing buildings. Morale statistic reflects the general mood of the Crusaders. Positive morale improves resource generation and recruitment growth, while negative morale decreases in numbers. Victories in battle increase morale, but if the army does not win a victory for an extended time, then its morale drops. Okay. Let's see here. We need a general. We'll go with him. We'll set the leader as that. There we go. We have 100 footmen. Alright. Archers. Footmen. You don't even know what that is. I need at least 50 more. No. We have 100. We need archers. Ten units of archers. Let's do 25. That's expensive. 15 units of archers. Why is the... Really? Oh. Gotcha. Combine armies. Okay. Two units of Baphomet cultists. $15, $15, 100, 25. We'd outnumber them. We'd outnumber them a lot. Almost 10 to 1. Heroes of Might and Magic? Huh. Fair enough. That kind of makes some sense now. God, that is a much scarier one. Crap, we need Socio with this. Magical anomalies are common in the world of Golarion. So common that the use of the word anomaly itself is questionable. Regular city dweller will encounter a chaotic manifestation of supernatural power at least once in their lifetime. One night, Matt naturally assumed that strange sky, the ghostly fire from rifts in the world, the ring of eyeballs, all that the world of Wound is known for, should find some purchase in the mortal mind. Even the most worldly of travelers feel uneasy at its borders. Why? Because instinctively they understand that this place is not merely a magical wasteland, but a wound, an ulcer through which the world itself bleeds into the abyss. Commander and an army walk up to the high bank of the West Sullen River, where it draws near the border of the World Wound. Soldiers' feet halt unbidden. On the other bank rise a series of cliffs, too regular in shape to have been formed by wind or water. Sky hangs over their sharp edges and sickening bends, the shade of mercury on the horizon, rising in dirty rust. As it arches above the soldiers' heads, it regains its familiar azure hue. Soldiers whisper and grumble. Commander feels eyes upon her back. Somewhere among them, wearing simple armor and unrecognized by anyone, the role of Mendev is standing, watching the new commander closely. Commander gives a signal to wait and climbs to the highest point along the bank. Then she decides to. Establishing rapport with her troops is yet another battle that the leader must face. With the subtle alchemy of words, one can win trust and raise morale, or lose faith in authority. She would have had something basically prepared for her and memorized it, because she's not good with words herself. Hence why we can use some Ailsa's diplomacy check. Addressing the army in the border of the Whirlwind, the commander seeks to establish herself as a military leader in this new battleground, and her efforts prove fruitful. Soldiers listen dutifully, smiles appearing on their faces. Someone in the ranks jokes that the demons are growing tired of waiting for them. The army keeps moving. And soldiers step warily beneath the shroud of low black clouds. It's like the Whirlwind has reached out a finger into the lands of Mendev. Gesture seems eerily harmless, but then the clouds come to life, shooting out howling tornadoes, one after another. Tornadoes come from all sides, from ahead, behind, and right above the soldiers' heads. The power of the elements is on one side of the scales. Soldiers' faith and inspiration on the other. Let's see which is greater. The determined army runs the gauntlet of tornadoes. The struggle lasts over half an hour, but the army only loses are a few bags of supplies and a dozen hats whipped off into the sky. After stopping to catch their breath, the soldiers continue on. Their first encounter with the Whirlwind has ended in their favor. How do we... Okay, we have to go back here. Gotcha. That's good to know. So because we have to replace them, we'll do a direct replace. We have to have them with us for the journey into the city. An elderly man limps towards the grave and clumsily throws a handful of soil inside. How unfair. They are all so young, they had their whole lives ahead of them. Sacrifice themselves, and an old cripple like me still lives. An elven woman with her face bathed in tears steps out to the grave. She whispers, "The painting. Burned like everything else in the house. There's nothing left for me to remember you by. Nothing." The young man throws a handful of soil into the open grave and stands beside it for a while, lost in thought. Finally, he sighs and steps back. Socio throws a handful of soil into the grave in front of him, takes a breath and prepares to speak, but seems he simply cannot find the right words. Cleric wipes his tear-filled eyes, gathers his resolve, and says in a gentle voice, "I wish you a warm welcome in Shalem's realm. We will win this war, I swear to you. We'll banish this ugliness and evil, make the world richer, and let the peace blossom in it. We'll make sure anything like this. He breaks into sobs mid-sentence and falls silent without finishing his declaration. Thank you for everything you've done for us. Cecile is too absorbed in his grief to hear you, but the other mourners nod in approval, wiping their teary eyes. They were good people. Can't believe they're gone. What is that? An elven woman shrieks in horror, disrupting the atmosphere of silent mourning. Her trembling hand points to something moving inside a grave. Suddenly a corpse climbs out of the ground, wafting a horrible stench from its rotting body. It's a zombie! Run! Well. Well, this isn't good. This is not good. Suddenly undead. They're going after the cat. Sela, channel energy, disrupt, and damage undead.
Into the fray!
There's no music here. Like, I think that's just because, but still. Do you have damage undead? You do. You also use it. Ember, you're gonna get attacked if you do anything else. So, Burning Arc. No, Scorching Ray. Yeah, no matter what, she's gonna take something, so it's like, well, might as well. Go, Snickers lost his attack. Snickers had a bunch of extra attacks before. Snickers had a full 5 attacks earlier. Wonder what the fuck happened. Oh god, we have more.
I'll rip you apart!
More undead. Oh, this is not good. We are
Time to share your treasures.
We are seeing rapidly increasing numbers of the undead. Socio, bless us. Hold on a moment. I'm gonna get some nice little extra music going on here since apparently we have no battle music. Let's see here. There we go. Nice little ambient undead battle music going on. Why are we fatigued? Did we get sleepy? We got sleepy. Crap.
This should do it.
We are kind of... We're not yet getting overwhelmed, because we're definitely winning, but it's definitely one of those moments where it's like, damn, this is a lot of guys.
Inheritor, guide my blade.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
He uses glaives. Oh, I'm going to take a look at him immediately after this and be like, hey, look, are you spec'd into that, or do you just use two-handed? Oh, you don't have one of your animal aspects up. That's strange. That's
Stab you or
weird.
zap you? Why not both?
The light, take you.
There were the 4 to 5 zombie lords. There were, like, a lot of those that we were fighting were zombie lords. It's just one of those things where it's just like, at this level, zombie lords aren't actually a threat. The heavy heart, Socio looks at the corpses of his friends, returned to rest by his own hand. What is this twisted mockery? Who could possibly... Wait, what's this? Ben Zen recovers something from the ground. Take a look at this. Socio hands off a black onyx gem to you. Once precious, the stone is now covered in cracks, falling apart in your grip as you examine the grave Minotaur's head, the unholy symbol of Baphomet. Kirk's voice, perplexed at first, fills with rage as he speaks. Cultists. So murdering my friends was not enough for them. I had to come to the funeral and desecrate their graves. Sorry you had to go through this. Demon worshippers are everywhere. I don't understand why the Inquisitors of Canopus became so paranoid. Townspeople flood the undead without knowing they have a traitor among them. Over there, they're in great danger. We must find them.
I tire.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 zombie lords. Sorry, 12 zombie lords. Oh.
Let me help.
What are your feats? None. Well, congratulations, my good man. I see you have this glaive, and that's very nice, but have you ever considered having something you don't have proficiency? You only have proficiency with glaives. Because glaive is your favored weapon. That's right. Because it's your deity's favored weapon. I forgot. I suddenly wish we still had one of those masterwork glaives to give him. Yeah, well. We'll get them enough. Soon. Yeah, I'm suffocating.
This is my kind of work.
Uh-oh. The half-rotten corpse of the woman shambles out of the crypt. She lures you with empty eye sockets and croaks out a few words. Thank gods and thank you too. Knew this was going to happen someday. They buried me alive. Who are you? Baroness Nanelle Ballard at your service. The woman bobs a clumsy curtsy, her legs barely supporting her. I say it's not too far from here. Let me assure you that all of you are always welcome there, assuming you are properly attired. I hate to break it to you, but you're actually dead. How dare you? What utter foolishness? Do I look like a corpse to you? No, you forget yourself. Should be ashamed of such things to a... Baroness wags her finger at you in a chastising manner, but cuts herself short, staring at her own hand in horror. How? This can't be. I shan't permit it. For it's true. Truly sorry. This graveyard was desecrated by a necromancer. Seems they disturbed your rest as well. The dead woman covers her face with what remains of her decaying hands. So I die, but even in death the accursed servants of the abyss torment me? Can nothing be done? Perhaps you could lay me to rest? I quite enjoyed my life in this world, but now there is no place for me here, on this miserable form. How'd you awaken? Do you remember anything? Allow me a moment to think. Seems like it, yes. Indeed, I woke because I heard a voice. They were saying poetry or a prayer, perhaps. So there were spells then? It's been your thrice-damned necromancer. Would you like to pass along any words of comfort to your friends and family while you're here? That good-for-nothing band of hangers-on? Well, certainly not, thank you very much. Reasonably confident they have already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed them. You'll have to do without my missives. Spare us both that indignity and embarrassment. See, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his parlor tricks. Rest in peace. Thank you. Do free to take my burial jewelry. Those pieces are dreadfully out of fashion where I'm going anyway. Well, she explicitly gave us permission. Domain Zealot. As a swift action, I'm actually okay with that, with Shaylin. That's actually fine.
The world has suffered enough.
Touch of good and dazing touch. Yep. Touch of good is always nice. As a swift action, makes them actually useful.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Well, a bit of grade dropping
Please,
never hurt
don't
anyone.
blame me.
Anyone still alive,
Follow me.
more important. Rin, obviously, as a necromancer, does not see any problem with grave robbing. Alright. Go, kitty, go! Go, Snickers, go! Actually, we don't need the turn-based for this.
Left yourself open.
That's a lot of zombie lords. Wolf got crit. We are getting fucking swarmed. Alright, so first of all, reapply that. Woljif, use this on yourself. Burning Arc, please, right there. Rin. Arcane Weapon Shock. Lizard, go! There we go. No, yeah, the fact that there's a necromancer that's spamming zombie lords is fucking amazing. Just touch of good immediately on her, and then follow that up with heal the living. Yep. What the? Why did it rearrange the initiative? Good job. There we go. Huh. Why is my Magus...
I will bring down the divine wrath.
Why is my
Time's not waiting.
arcane enchantment not working? Oh, wait, I have to actually do arcane weapon enhancement. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're good. I forgot how to do it in the CRPG for a moment. God damn, that's a lot of zombie lords.
I will lend you my aid.
Please do. Ember, please use your free heal on Woljif now. How are our pets? They're doing fine. Okay. Who are you? What do you want? All you have to do is die in the name of Baphomet. Have faith. You can do it.
I will protect you with my life.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Unknown key. Yes, attack unknown key. Use prayer. Cat's gonna cap.
Inimosi tradisi.
Lizard.
They'll beg me to stop.
All right. We are a little in trouble down there with Social. Social's kind of fucked because he rushed ahead. You know what? Snickers, go reinforce him. Fuck the attacks of opportunity. You can do it. I believe in you. Oh god. More undead. Go, lizard, go! Lizard adventure!
A calculated risk. This will hurt.
Oh my god, she can't get past him. That... My lizard adventure backfired. Wundwog, cast Acid Maw.
I need your assistance. I failed you, friends.
I'm not going to say you deserve that, because no, you don't deserve to die, but that is kind of what you get for rushing ahead of literally everyone when we have no way to get to cover you. The cat is getting fucking destroyed. The cat, by the way, has 26 AC. Use Evil Eye on the big Necromancer. Divine favor, I guess. Since Lizard is blocking the path. Lizard, go take out that archer. Alright. Take out the Necromancer, please. Yes, he's down. Okay. Woljif, you can now take out this zombie lord, which you did. Good job. Ooh, God. Please cast Mage Armor on yourself.
I've failed you, friends.
No glory without risk.
Right. She's gonna move up to here. Shame she doesn't have burning hands prepared. Well, given the situation, Lie of the Angels. No, not Snickers.
No match for me.
Immune to hideous laughter. Okay, that's fair. That's pretty fair.
Continue fighting, everyone.
This is not good.
I failed you, friends.
It's no Pathfinder, it's Diablo now. Oh yeah. Damn. Lizard, go! Fucking book it! Give them another target besides our downed allies. Yeah, there you go. Fuck them up. Fuck them up! Alright. What was I saying? Cast Shocking Grasp on the Zombie Lord. There we go. You don't get to attack Windwog's pet.
Distract them from me.
Damn.
I can't die now.
They are really
I'm
going
not nearly
for
rich enough.
Woljif. I mean, that'd do it. Go after those skeletal champion archers, please. Alright, Rin's opened the path.
It's all your fault.
They'll beg me to stop.
Fuck. Party's gonna need some serious healing after this. Damn. Oh, you're just out of range for the... no, the lady's in the way. God damn it. Alright. Get in there. So that way you threaten them all. Wait, what? I surrender. Stop. I give up. Don't hit me. The young man in black robes throws his hands up in a dramatic gesture. Damned rat, how dare you! Suddenly, Socio becomes a totally different person. The artist's delicate hands clench into fists, while his voice comes out as a menacing roar. He leaps at the necromancer and breaks his nose with a single blow. You scumbag, I remember you! You came to our temple begging for healing just a month ago. We fed you! We shared our table with you and took you in. Then you... Oh, I don't even know what I'm going to do to you. Stop it, I'll surrender. You're... Socio ignores the necromancer's cries of pain, punching him right in the teeth. And necromancer spits blood but continues fighting past the wild blows to his increasingly bruised and busted face. You're a priest of Sheilin. Surrender, so you have to spare my life. Your goddess demands it. Is he telling the truth? Religion doesn't allow you to kill him? The Eternal Rose is known for her grace. She teaches us to show mercy to anyone who asks for it. It's one thing to slay an enemy in battle, but a captive you must try to save their soul. Show them the beauty of the world. Persuade them to abandon the path of evil. It's difficult, but the world is better for it. I'm just repeating your own sermons back to you. Come on, Soul-Seal, try to make me repent my sins. Perhaps your kind words will make me abandon Baphomet's teachings. Run to Sheilin for redemption, start hanging some tapestries of my own. The cultist smirks impudently. Do you two know each other? That's Nartir, Taylor's apprentice from Canabras. We healed him after he was mauled by a dog, became a frequent visitor to our temple, listened attentively to our sermons, studied the goddess's teachings, and praised our art. Were you lying to our faces the whole time? When we took you in? When you sat at our table? When we broke bread with you? Were you planning to stab us in the back even then? The whole time. Now you understand part of it. Let's dig into the rest. I was hoping to lure you to our side. It wouldn't have been hard. We're everywhere, even inside you. I think you know it too. You're not like all those pious devotees. You pretended to be. Maybe you fooled yourself, but we both see who you truly are. You have that same demonic rage inside you. It's a pity I never had time to kindle into a devouring flame. Sometimes you have to resort to a backup plan. Having you die at the hands of your dead friends was such a good idea. It's a pity it didn't work. Shut up! Socio swings his fist but stops in midair. His clenched fist trembles as he stares at the cultist with an expression of pure hatred. You want to kill me right now, don't you? But you can't. You're a good boy, Socio, so loyal to your goddess. You'll have to let me go commit a sin. So I win either way. When it's the genius of our Lord Baphomet. Do you really believe leaving this scum deserves a chance of redemption? I don't know. Sheilin, forgive me, but I've never had to struggle with this burden before, said the cultist with visible disgust. I had no time to try healing the souls of villains. I was always preoccupied with healing the bodies of those hurt by them. Forgive me, Eternal Rose. Teach us to be merciful to our enemies and love them. But I'm too weak, I'm afraid. Grant me absolution from this sin, for this kind of love is beyond me. Don't listen to his lies. He deserves death. It would be justice to kill him on the spot. Socio looks at his blazed hands in disgust and pushes the battered cultist away. There's no justice in killing him right now. It would be a simple act of revenge. Absolutely no idea there was so much rage in me. It's a shame, a disgrace, but I must admit that I enjoyed beating him. Forgive me for letting you see me like this. It should never have happened. Socio wipes the necromancer's blood off his knuckles and steps away from him. You're the commander and he is your captive. It's up to decide his fate. I surrender. Here, take everything I've got. Just don't kill me. What do you think I should do to them? I have no right to decide whether you should live or die. You're in charge here. Then I condemn him to death. His sentence will be carried out immediately. No! Please, listen, You silence the necromancer forever with a single well-aimed blow. Sosu bows his head. May the goddess forgive him, for I will not. Looks at you. Thank you for taking this sin upon yourself. Sosu examines the devastated graveyard, then diverts his attention to the terrified townspeople. It's all right. You're safe now. We should bury the bodies again. It's a place of peace, and we must not leave it desecrated like this. Townsfolk are terrified of even looking at the fallen undead, but Social's soft words reassure them. As they work together, the graveyard soon regains its tranquil appearance. After a prayer, Social bows his head before the graves of his friends for the last time. May the Eternal Rose grant them peace at last. Let's be on our way, with many more innocents to protect from the horrors of this war. Well, I'm going to loot the undead. What? Okay. There's at least one zombie lord corpse. Okay. Alright. Let's heal up. All right. Let's return to the war camp. And for that, take on that demonic army. All right. Come on, Wrath. Please don't freeze up now. Its memory use is not changing at all. It's at 0% GPU use. It's not shifting at all. It might have crashed. I hope not. Yep, there we go. Let's see if it changes real quick. I do see some shifts with it. Nope, it's completely crashed. All right. That is fine. Well, that is unfortunate. But I was basically going to do that battle and save anyways. Let's go ahead and try and see if we can. Let's go ahead and try and reload and see if we can do the battle. If not, then we will. Well, I mean, if we can't, then we have a problem. But can we manually force it stop? I have Task Manager up here, and I've already told it to end the task. It's staying. That's the main problem I have with this is it doesn't crash nicely. It crashes in a way that's just like, no, it's eternally there. Which is always really obnoxious. It's not letting me do shit as far as crashing it, as far as getting rid of it. So I guess on that note, we will do the battle tomorrow. I will make sure that the battle can progress, or else I will do some fixing sometime tomorrow before the stream. But yeah, it looks like it's not doing it right now, and it is 11 o'clock, and I do need to get some sleep. So unfortunately, we're gonna end on that unfortunately lackluster note. But it is what it is. All right. I hope you all did enjoy. We got to today was more of a day of reading and catching up on everything and getting story progression, but we got to see some combat in the end, and it got a little dicey there due to our fucking cleric running way ahead. But you know, it was all right. Anyways, as always, don't worry that this game seems to be crashing a lot. It's still very early beta. They're still working out the kinks. The game is far from a finished state. A lot of this will be eliminated through as they optimize, etc. So I'm not too worried about it. And most of the crashes have been workaroundable. I haven't met any truly just, well, there goes my entire fucking save crashes. So, yeah. Anyways, take care for now. And I will see you all next time. Later.